Welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep, you decide. Questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows unknown reside. Rob Kalil busting myths like ghosts in the night. Paranormal pros, secret space ops, yo, we keep it real, no fright. Typical skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Aliens, Anunnaki, black ops in disguise. From abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script wide. TSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable. My lab's targeted souls, breaking out of the stable. Dogman howling, Bigfoot prowling, cryptids in the mist. Mandela the fifth, twisting reality, can't resist the twist. Soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams. Near-death visions, out-of-body missions, waking up the teams. No censorship here, we fear no elite scheme. Conspiracy kings ringing bells, hear the freedom ring. The skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Extraterrestrials, interdimensional highs. Welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep.
Welcome to Typical Skeptic Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Welcome to Typical Skeptic Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Hey guys, welcome back to another show. I'm really excited about my guest today. I kind of put this together all as one big show, but we're going to have Solreta on for an hour, and then Chloe's going to join us for the second hour. And Solreta's already waiting, so I'm going to bring her onto the stage in a second. I'm going to introduce her first. We have Solreta's an amazing person. Let me get to her bio here. This is to do her justice. So Solreta Antaria, she's one of my favorite guests to have on the show. She's an Australian ET experiencer, psychic intuitive, author, educator, and multidimensional communicator who has spent over 2 decades helping people explore consciousness, spirituality, and personal transformation. With more than 23 years experience in natural medicine, she holds an advanced diploma in health sciences and combines her background in holistic health with intuitive energy work, kinesiology, biohacking, and neuroplasticity. Solreta says she has maintained a lifelong awareness of multidimensional realities and ET contact, including the experience she has documented on camera. Her work focuses on helping others discover their soul mission, connect with spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, and extraterrestrial intelligences while awakening their own intuitive gifts. She also describes a deep connection to the Sirius star system and communicates through what she calls star language. And she explains it's an energetic language of love and consciousness experience empathetically. Sirius slider phenomenon, ET communication, consciousness, and how each of us might begin to tap into our own abilities. And I'm going to bring her to the stage now. Hopefully we don't have a delay. Solreta, thanks so much for coming on. How are you?
Hey, Rob. Thank you so much for that brilliant introduction. And yeah, it's always so much fun to come and hang out with you. Oh, I'm not sure if we've got maybe a little bit of electric.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we do have a little bit of a delay, but I'll try to manage through it. Let me log on from my phone. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna fix that. I think that's what we have to do. So
yeah, it's quite interesting, especially because we're talking about
might be better. Phenomenon. Okay. I'll use my phone for this. Okay. I'll use my phone for this. That should help. Is that a lot better?
Yeah, that's so much better. Now it's really clear.
Okay. Yeah. So, how are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm really well, thanks. Thank you so much for having me on, and I especially like talking about this topic as well. I'm so excited. I know your audience will be into this. I can see in the chat too that people are talking about, is it the TV show Sliders that we're talking about? And so, yeah, I just can't wait to dive into this interesting topic.
Yeah, you don't hear people when people like psionics is a hot topic lately, and you don't hear people mention the word sliders much. So I love the fact that you brought it up.
Yeah, when you're like, what should we talk about? It just instant download. I'm like, I think we need to talk about this because I think a lot of the listeners, and maybe even yourself included, those that are drawn to, the phenomena, whether it's UFOs, UAPs, whatever we want to call it, ghost hunting, anything that's kind of paranormal or supernatural, a lot of us will actually have some of the gifts and abilities that we're going to be talking about tonight. So when we talk about the psionic gifts, people are really linking that very strongly at the moment to do with, there's a wording that they're terming called psionic asset. So you'll see some people that are able to connect with ETs, UFOs. They talk about them being a psionic asset. They talk about certain people having, I guess, more of a government look in if they're a psionic asset. But the way that I like to talk about it is that this is also our natural gift and ability. So some people have a larger electronic emission, or more of like a bigger biofield or auric field. And many of you guys may have experienced certain electrical disruptions and things of that sort of nature. So there's another term that's linked in with the UFO field, which is called streetlight phenomenon. And it's been written about. You'll see a couple of articles on the internet. And some of you may have even had where you walk under street lights and they'll go out. I find that you kind of be able to measure it with your auric field. So for me, if I'm driving, it'll always go out 2 lights ahead of where my car is. So I know that if I'm in a certain state or a certain mood, usually if it's, if you're feeling a little bit emotionally charged, your auric field can reach a little bit further. So we'll talk tonight also about like what we can do to ground and balance these kinds of things. But essentially you'll see sort of like how large your auric field is. So mine tends to go off at about two street lights ahead when I'm in one of those kind of moods or states. But yeah, so the other term is sliders. So there is the cool TV show that was in the late 90s, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think of the name of the guy that was in it. But anyway, that was like where they had this remote control and they would enter different codes and they would go slide into parallel universes and dimensions and often, see different versions of themselves. Did you ever watch that show?
I don't remember watching it, but you know what's weird? You said that. I was just talking about the other night. I was doing a call-in show, and I was talking about wouldn't it be so cool if we had the ability to just like if I had a portal in my room here or in my studio, and I could just portal into Australia, or you could portal to the United States, or we could portal to teleport anywhere. And I think that's kind of what they were doing, but they were going into alternate dimensions, right? But also, it seems like the government may already have that technology, and they're not sharing it with the public,
Yeah, definitely. And I think that would be so cool. Imagine if we could do this live in the same studio together. So someone just mentioned, so it was Jerry O'Connell was one of the main actors in that show, and I think maybe Dom DeLuise? I forget the name of the girl that was in it, but yeah, so that is one term of sliders. It's not to confuse with the one that we're talking about now, which is, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Powder, where the guy was fully white and he was kind of a little bit of an outcast in his school because he was very, not only emotionally sensitive, but, electrically sensitive too. So that would be being a slider, but in, I guess, more of a big degree of someone that is hard to incorporate into the humanness of it all. But the reason I want to talk about it too is when we look into the EMFs and we look into a lot of the electronic warfare and things like that, maybe there's something we can do to, to anchor these gifts and abilities of us working with our own frequency and strengthening our aura, strengthening our biofield. Because I believe that we actually have some of these airbender-like gifts and abilities. So for many of you, you'll experience strange things around electrical disturbances, lights flickering. And someone also mentioned in the chat, thank you guys too for adding things into the chat. Someone else also mentioned that this also can be like demonic or archonic type things too, which is very true. So not only can I guess those kind of disruptors affect electricity, but our auric fields can also affect electricity. So really good to learn and distinguish between, you know, what's us, what's them. And this is also why it's good to learn how to regulate your emotions, regulate your nervous system, because you also don't want to attract any kind of like attachments or things like that that archonically get fed by loosh. But yeah, one of the things that I've experienced is not being able to wear wristwatches unless they're kinetic energy ones. So anyone that has a battery, and it's interesting because we think about like how crystals are also used as part of that technology. And we know that, you know, crystals are also pure energy too, vibrating at, I forget how many hertz it is, but it's definitely a lot higher than most other things. So they're sort of existing between state. So it's really interesting that certain people will affect, whether it's, you know, TVs that also have that crystalline Vogel type technology in it. And there's other things that have crystal technology like computers, the watches with the quartz in it too. So street lights, watches. I remember one time I was doing a mediumship class and I just sort of pulled my energy back in so I could focus and concentrate. So I was doing platform work, which is where, you know, you stand up in front of an audience and you connect with a spirit from the other side. And I just said to the teacher, because this was when I was learning it, I said, I just need to bring my energy back in and focus. All of a sudden his watch stopped working. He was like shaking it for half an hour. I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's not going to work. What are you going to say?
Do you feel that a lot of us like that might be like psionically gifted or that are coming to our abilities or that might be empathic or both are heavily affected by things like what is going on now, like Mercury retrograde, or even when we have solar flares? Because it seems so in my case. I seem to get affected heavily by Mercury retrograde. I seem to get affected anytime I hear there's solar flares. I seem to sleep a lot. Is this common? And yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up. I definitely find a connection. Not only that, I find that people like yourself and myself, Rob, and I see a couple of my beautiful soul tribe in the audience, and I know a lot of them are quite sensitive too. So we tend to feel it about 2 weeks before it happens, when Mercury actually goes into the shadow period. So when we see the dates for Mercury retrograde, you and I are probably more experiencing it 2 weeks before, and then we kind of sometimes will stabilize during that more intense period so that we're there to help other people to ground or to kind of help them balance out. So yeah, definitely my car has issues a lot more, or, you know, other electronics and things like that within the house. So just in this current Mercury retrograde experience, I've got the locks on my doors going up and down. I've got auto electric issues with the car with lights coming on. And then I take it to the auto electric guy to have a look at it. And he's like, oh, there's nothing wrong, but I'm able to film it. I've learned to film this stuff and then show it to them to show them what's happening. The other thing too is a little milk frother that I use for making lattes. That's gone. I've been through 2 sets of batteries in just this one period of Mercury retrograde. So just little things like that, as well as, you know, lights flickering in the house. And sometimes you're able to actually connect to that electrical channel and cause the lights to flicker too. So there can be a little bit of fun. And this is something that I learned at an earlier age, that, you know, we can actually cause the lights to go out and things of this sort of nature, which is not always a good thing. But yeah, we have to be careful. We don't want to send the lights out over multiple cities, or, you know, where people might be needing generators or things of that sort of nature.
Yeah. Are some people born with it, or is it your people come into it, the ability, or is it both?
So it does tend to run in families. So if you look up the street light phenomenon or the slider phenomenon, like to get more information on the internet, what you'll see, like mine comes through my grandmother's side of the family. So her little tiny cute antique watch was given to me. She couldn't wear a watch either because the batteries would stop. It does tend to really relate to do with emotional intensity. So I noticed when I was working in a spa job years ago, that the closer that I got to leaving that job, the more often that the batteries would have to be changed on the wall clock. So when I arrived there, it was fine. The batteries would last for months. And then when, we started to go through the start of lockdown over here, and I just was starting to get, I guess, a little bit more fed up with being, I guess, in society with some of the BS that we were putting up with here in Australia. And then all of a sudden it went from having to replace the clock wall battery every month. And then in the final weeks, it was probably like once every 2 weeks, we were having to change the battery. So we do tend to drain batteries. One of my daughters actually, as a child, was able to charge batteries, which was a really cool gift, even batteries that had been flat for a couple of years. So I've also experienced this with my one of my old cars. The engine just totally died in the middle of a freeway one night. And so I pulled off to the side of the road, had to use all my strength to kind of steer that wheel because everything just died in the car.
Oh
and then
God.
It was really scary, going 100 kilometers an hour. I'm not sure how many miles that is. Anyway, so I managed to get off, and I guess like the power ran out just in time to stop coming off the arm of the freeway. And then I rang my dad and I said, I'm just going to try, turning it on. Anyway, so I sat there and I sent my energy into the car, and all of a sudden it was able to turn back on. I was able to pick my partner up from the airport, get back to his apartment in the city. And all of a sudden, as soon as we arrived out the front of his apartment, totally dead. Could not turn the car on anymore. And it was making the most terrible noises all the way back to the apartment. And anyway, I had a tow truck pick it up in the morning, and he's like, how were you able to start the car? He's like, your engine is totally dead. That should not have started after, dying on the freeway the way that it did. And I just had to just be like, oh, maybe it was magic. Who knows? Because we can actually channel and send prana, chi, life force energy into some of these electronics. And that's essentially what's happening. If we think about our aura, our electrical field, disrupting electricity, whether it's, draining it or enhancing it, this is kind of how it works. So really important to learn how to actually bring in more chi, more life force energy. So one of the ways that we get prana and chi is from the sun. So whether it's through eating foods that are rich in biophoton energy, which is like sunlight prana in the little packets of plant food, or whether it's, through structured water, air, walking on the ground, the earth, and absorbing all of those electromagnetic energies or antioxidants that come through our bare feet on the soil. So different ways to be able to charge up. And sometimes this is also why we feel really drained being around certain people too. And for some people that have, I guess, we'll see this. I know someone mentioned about the demonic side of, lights and everything too. And this is where it gets a little bit darker with the UFO side of things. So some people are working with their energy in a negative sense to call in UFOs and ETs. And then you'll have those that are working from the light side of things to call them in as well. So yeah, it's such like a wide topic. We can even do a part 2.
I also wanted to ask you about, have you ever been around someone who's just like, I mean, they can be like the nicest person in the world. They're not like I'm not saying that this person's a bad person, but like they just have so much energy that like it's like draining on your energy, and you don't want to be rude and say anything, but like it's they don't mean to be psychic vampiring, but it's almost doing it in an inadvertent way, or their over energeticness is draining your energy. Has that ever happened to you before? And can that happen, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. And even just, I'm getting shown clairvoyant visions as you're talking about that. So this is why it's really important to learn to be able to seal our aura, to be able to seal off our chakras. So what I was seeing clairvoyantly as you're talking about that is sometimes people might inadvertently be draining on your auric field, especially solar plexus was what I was getting shown with the situation you were talking about. So if we think about our solar plexus being this yellow disc of energy that sits around just under your chest, so like around your stomach. So this is sometimes where some people will cord or negatively attach in or drain. So what I would do in that kind of situation is visualize my solar plexus shrinking down, visualize it being sealed and protected, whether it's, white light or violet light, gold light, just some kind of like a seal of protection. I'd visualize cutting away like any cords or any kind of drain that could be siphoning, because that's what we're sort of seeing with that kind of situation. It's more of like a siphoning of energy. And then I would activate my crown chakra, feeling connected to source and feeling connected to God and higher self, and activate my heart chakra. And that way we're more kind of plugging back in to where we would get like our life force energy as well. So when what we want to do is expand those two chakras and really sort of like limit. Sometimes you'll see where, I guess, like, people in positions of power, sometimes you'll actually see them. Like, one experience that I've seen over here in Australia was one particular guru that was at an ashram, being clairvoyant and seeing auras my whole life. I remember going there, I think it was about 20 years ago or a little bit less. But I remember looking at him and wondering why he would often have like this red root chakra energy and then green heart chakra energy, yet his devotees had this beautiful gold, like really pure kind of aura and looked more spiritually developed than the guru teaching. Now, when we look into the translation of what sort of later came out with him having an affair with 30 of the women at that place, so we can understand why there was like excessive root chakra, red energy in his aura, like it was turned, way up. And then we could also see that the heart energy was there. So, it's kind of like a mixture of heart, but root chakra. But it was really interesting, the devotees having this gold kind of like pure connection to source. So chakras are really important to learn about in terms of balancing our energy, making sure we're not getting people caught into us. And it also, when we can clairvoyantly see these sorts of things, it also lets us know who's like more operating on a pure level, who maybe to avoid, or who's maybe using their heart energy, but with a sense of manipulation and power for, drawing or feeding off others. Because sometimes when we have such a massive root chakra like that, it can be that, they are maybe having archonic attachments, other beings that are also coming in to feed off this loosh or this sexual energy. So definitely guard yourself if you're feeling drained around someone. Does that sort of help answer that question? That was a great question.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And going back to the show Sliders, do you think that it was like how they say a lot of times there's like disclosure in movies and disclosure in TV shows. Do you think that was like pre-disclosure, like showing people like, or like to put to plant the thought in people's heads about the abilities that people might have in the future?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it was interesting because, a lot of the time they'll use external things like technology to be able to, I guess, talk about gifts and abilities that we might organically have. So when we talk about the quantum field, or we talk about our energy field, brain and heart coherence are one of the most important things in terms of like broadcasting a signal out into the quantum field. So if we're looking at the Sliders TV show and how they had the remote control and they would enter to go in and out of these different portals, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers and probably even yourself have seen, it would have been like on Instagram, Facebook, the guy that was running, I'm not sure if it was like 528 hertz on two different devices, which simulcast some kind of like a signaling frequency between speakers that opened a portal, which looked like it was going to Sedona. So I do feel like frequency is a big part of this, but I also feel like technology, just how like a lot of us are noticing telepathy to do with this technology now. We might think of something and we'll get an ad come up on our phones. So we're starting to kind of realize or see that technology, where we send someone a message, it's almost like synthetic telepathy. So I do believe, like with that TV show, that there's the version that's technology based, but then there's the version of us that's able to, whether it's, teleport or biolocate. We hear stories from like the ancient Vedic stories of the Siddhis or the people that had mastered certain gifts. And we see that over here too with some of our beautiful original Aboriginal elders, where they're able to teleport from one spot to another. They're able to expand their aura and keep a bunch of people warm in the snow. So I think we've just forgotten how to use a lot of these gifts and abilities. And what I see that we're going into from a clairvoyant psychic point of view is that we're getting back into the epoch of remembering that this is totally natural, totally normal. And so we're activating our spiritual technology.
Yeah, what would always amaze me? Like, you made me think of something. Like when we see or we hear those stories when a kid's, I'll just give an example. Like a kid's trapped under a car and a 120-pound mother manages to lift up the car to free her child, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like we don't know the abilities that we have that we can tap into. Just like when you said that about someone being able to keep people warm in the snow. It's like we have abilities. I mean, I think they've deliberately been hidden from us for sure. And also I feel like it has something to do with like the mix of adrenaline and emotion and psionics. And yeah, that's fascinating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's such a great example because, that superhuman gift or ability, I think it really shows something that, could be perhaps normal to us, but it's really interesting from like a hormonal chemical point of view too, that there would be adrenaline activated pumping through the blood. Like it'd be interesting to look at it from a biochemical response, what's hormonally chemically happening in the body, but also like aurically to, pull in a vast amount of energy and strength to be able to do something that seems superhuman. I think we have clear examples of stuff like that happening throughout our history. And also just even looking back into the Siddhi side of things and to the gurus that were able to materialize things. So say, for example, Sai Baba, he was able to, with his sleeves up, be able to materialize or have this ash fall out of his body that's called vibhuti. And with that, it was called sacred ash. And I'm not saying that his, one of the good ones, because there's negative stories about him as well. But with certain masters, they were able to manifest jewelry falling out of their body, like ruby gold rings and things of that sort of nature. But it's really interesting. Vibhuti is supposed to be from like the spiritual realms. It's almost like this energy or this ash that comes in from, if we talk about plasma existing at like 98.8% of the space around us, it's almost like he was able to focus his attention and bring things, almost kind of teleporting them from that quantum into our physical dimension. So yeah, I remember a friend bringing me back a little container of vibhuti, of that sacred ash. What's interesting is it's also talked about or referred to as a spiritual nectar. So you can actually get that from your pineal gland. So some of the breatharians, we hear about them living off the plasma chi energy from the sun. So sun gazing or doing certain breath work, which is essentially living off plasma, but they also talk about them being fed from the nectar that comes from the pineal gland. So I think the more that we can activate this chi plasma life force or activate the pineal gland to manufacture this, and I've tasted it. I remember in college, just sort of sitting in one of my classes, and all of a sudden I got this like weird sensation of like a drip. It felt like honey coming from inside my brain, and then like a taste of this, almost like a honeysuckle. I don't know if you as a kid ever tried the honeysuckle flowers where you pull the end off and you suck on the honey that comes through.
Yeah.
It was almost like a honeysuckle type flavor. Now, this is supposed to be like a spiritual nectar that comes from the heavenly realms, yet we have a physical organ that helps to juice and transduce this spiritual nectar down into our physical realm. So I do believe that we're going to understand in the future a lot more of these bridge between world psionic capabilities. So this is where we're going to see more UFO phenomenon type stuff coming in. A lot more people are going to start to have experiences of this, but it will also be guiding people to realize like what they're consuming. So in terms of like the quality of the food, we're going to start to really feel more to the detriment if we're consuming junk food or food that's like dead energy or doesn't have that chi plasma energy. So really noticing like what's actually feeding, giving us life force energy. This is, a bigger part of the positive side of the future that I see, which is also why at the same time, a lot of our, if we think about it, EMFs, a lot of the water, a lot of the food, and even like the stuff that they're spraying, they're really trying to pollute or kind of, I don't know the right word, nullify a lot of that prana, that chi, life force energy. It's like we're getting a lot of contamination. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me see here. And then I wanted to kind of get into a little bit of star language with you too. Because this can tie in. Like, when did star language first start coming through to you? Is that the same as light language? Would you say?
Yeah. So I was first on TV over here in Australia back in 2005. And it was interesting. So for me, I've always had light language, but I guess my guides had more referred to it as star language because, referencing that it comes from the stars or is connected to like a higher vibrational frequency. So in one of the shows that I was on, it was called Speaking in Tongues. And it was just a little TV show over here in Australia. But at the end of the episode, they got me to speak light language. And then they got people to email into the show for the following week to do a recap and to release the information on the translation of what was said. Now, of the people that weren't sort of saying, oh, beam me up, Scotty, or having a bit of a piss take of it, 98% of people actually were able to tune in psychically and empathically. So light language, star language, the Japanese sometimes call it space talk, which I think is so cute. I love that term.
That's hilarious. I didn't know they said that.
Yeah, I've been on Japanese TV twice. So I had a film crew fly to Australia and film me because I was working with singing crystal balls and working with light language, and UFOs were appearing over the house. So
whoa!
Yeah.
You had UFOs appearing over your house?
Yeah. So I had them come out to film for that. And then I'm trying to think what that show was. There was one show called Mystery Detectives, I think, that I was on years ago as well. So I got flown to Italy for another show where there was a lady in Italy who spoke light language. And for the Japanese TV show, they said, wouldn't it be interesting to see you speaking English, her speaking Italian, whether you're able to understand each other with light language. So they flew me over to Italy to film with this lady in her house, and she was having, ET contact and things. And I think some of it may have been a bit exaggerated to the extent of it, because there was like some weirdness going on at the same time. But what was interesting was the translator, he was Italian, he spoke Japanese, he spoke English. And so, her and I would speak light language. And he was like, oh my God, you're saying the same thing. So he's like telling the, the Italian side of it, telling the English side of it. So light language is a language that transcends space and time. So for me, it's something that I knew of when I was in kindergarten and, from as early as I can remember, because that's how long I've been having contact too. But when you look to the book, The Keys of Enoch, it talks about some people that have a God-given gift or ability to see letters, like Hebrew letters that appear like flames. In the Bible, it even references people that have a gift of speaking in tongues. And it says in there, not that I've read the whole Bible, but the section that it talks about this, it says that sometimes these people will go on to speak light language or the gift of tongues, and then others will also start to pick it up and speak it. So it can be something that is downloaded when we're around it or when we hear it. Sometimes it will activate this gift for other people.
Whoa, that is so cool. So when you were having the craft come over your house, what do you feel like you were in contact with? Was it like Pleiadians or Arcturians, or what do you think was going on?
Mainly Pleiadian energy. So a big part of my connection's Pleiadian, but also Sirian. And I actually do galactic readings. So in my galactic readings, we look into about 20 different groups, as well as like Atlantean and Lemurian. And, a lot of my clients, because I've been doing readings for over 30 years now, which is insane to me.
Wow.
I can't believe how fast time's gone. So for me, I don't sort of read in the traditional way. So a lot of the time I'll start with an aura drawing. We'll have a look into the energy and I'll translate and draw that for my client, as well as talk about anything that Spirit's talking about coming up. And then I'll read cards tarot-wise face down to begin with, to get like a pulse check or a take on something that Spirit wants to talk about, whether it's the person's soul mission. But in the galactic session, we actually focus on a few of the groups that are in our Andromeda galaxy. But what I'm noticing is I'm getting more and more clients come to me that are even above that. So we're talking about people that have come here that are coming from places where ascended masters come from. So when we talk about like Yeshua or Mary Magdalene or Kuan Yin, I'm seeing a few clients that come from similar realms that are totally outside our galaxy. So if we're talking back to the slider phenomenon side of things, think about them coming in from a soul level through a whole nother universe or galaxy. So Earth can feel totally foreign to them. It does not make sense, the low frequency, the low vibe, but they're here to bring the light. They're here to raise that vibration and frequency here on the Earth.
Yeah, and do you feel like there are some people here who are actually angel incarnates too? Like my friend Michelle always tells me that. She tells me that like, you know, that a lot of us here are like angel incarnates, and that like, you know, like we're meant to raise the frequency. But like I don't have any memories of anything, you know. But I mean, like, you know, but do you think some people are like angel incarnates here? Like,
yeah, definitely. And it's interesting because children, I guess, have not closed off that gift. And so sometimes you'll have children just say exactly what they feel. So what we notice with angelic energy is a lot of the time there'll be gold and pink in the aura, or beings that are coming in from this higher other universal level that are more of like a bodhisattva or bodhisattva or like ascended master energy. They sometimes will even have that angelic presence or angelic energy. So we see more golds, more pinks in their aura, especially in the spiritual realm part, and even in the etheric, which is that little white part that we usually kind of see. Like if we look around trees and you see like that white fuzzy glow, sometimes with people that have angelic energy, you'll more see like a gold or like a white light emanating or coming off their auric field. So we can kind of clairvoyantly identify some of these beings, but children will be so drawn to them. So if you guys have got angelic energy, you may have noticed kids just sort of being fascinated and staring at you or trying to work you out. Animals, babies just being drawn to you. So that's one way that we sometimes can see people or children have an awareness of angelic energy.
wow, this is fascinating. And then you also have a connection to Sirius as well, or you feel like you have a connection to Sirius. What drew you to this conclusion about Sirius?
Yeah, so I guess when we look into like our ET contact, different parts will be revealed over time. So it's not all of a sudden that we'll just get like a dumping download of all of our different lifetimes. Some people that have had near-death experiences might, but usually there'll be sort of like a trickle effect that comes in. So for me, one of my lifetimes that are connected to do with Sirius was something that I was made I guess like spirit was making me aware of a lot earlier on. So for me, Sirius is also connecting in. So say, for example, this pen here, this represents what we're programmed with in our 3D, school programming, that we have the past, we have the present, and we have the future. So we're only kind of taught it on a 3-dimensional, one straight line. But if we look into the truth of it, it's more that we're existing in multi-dimensional different or even sometimes multiversal side of things. So when we meditate, or even sometimes when we're dreaming, or we're connecting with other parts of self, you'll start to get different star influences come in. So I've actually got a meditation called Soul Star that's for free on YouTube. Anyone can go onto my channel and see it. And you can actually say, all right, take me to the Pleiades. I want to, go through this stargate that I've got in the meditation and find out more about my Pleiadian self, or find out more about my Sirian self. So for me, a big part of connecting with Sirius is connecting into the essence of where I was an oracle. So I would scire and remote view and look into the water and receive a lot of answers. So if we think about Sirius being a beautiful kind of Colosseum type energy with pools of water that are around these oracle temples, a lot of us were trained and taught how to remote view, or how to, feel or look into these other dimensions through the water and through these pools of consciousness. So massive connection to dolphins and whales as well, with people that are connected with Sirius. A lot of them are upholding peace too. So it's things that I go into a little bit deeper individually in the galactic readings. And I also give people a Star Origins booklet that comes with that reading, just to sort of give you like a little reminder. But, these are places that we can still visit. Think about it like having a little bit of a holiday from the earth realm. We can meditate and, go and experience, or even just go and be within like a crystalline realm. So some of the higher dimensions, like the galactic angelic realms, or even, going off into Pleiades and asking to go into a healing chamber, or like the medbed type technology and things.
Wow, that's fascinating. Like, and people, you've had people experience that, like that's common usually. Like,
Oh, do you mean like to go off and experience that, or?
yeah. Like,
Yeah, so I guess like from a reading point of view,
yeah,
one thing that I've had is clients come to me for like a supposed normal reading, and it might be just like around career, love, relationship. And sometimes I've had like massive clairvoyant visions of them going on board UFOs. I remember one client in particular, she came to me for a normal reading, and all of a sudden I saw this like fluid filled tank that had these little orbs of light. And I saw her on board a craft with all these like little orbs just going around her body, reconfiguring her energy, working with healing. And I just said, look, I'm sorry, I just need to, I said, I know you've come here for a normal reading. So I actually started to draw this, and she's like, I thought that was a dream. She's like, but it was one of those dreams that I couldn't shake. So sometimes I'll actually see into someone else's ET contact or their ET experience, or where they've received, whether it's like healing and things on a higher realm. And that just helps it to make it more concrete. And sometimes my clients will have experiences and they'll ask me about it. But yeah, I've had a few situations where people have come in for a normal reading, and it's like the humanness in me is like, okay, should I talk about this? Like, I don't want to, open a can of worms, but I trust and I know that spirit will only show me what the person is ready to know, or what they need confirmation on. So sometimes this will open them up into more contact and connection with their mission and their higher self. And for them to, a lot of it really is confirmation, I would say, at the end of the day.
yeah. And you, for people, as I've read in your bio, you have a degree in holistics, I believe it is. Yeah, you have an advanced diploma in health sciences. That's amazing. So what I wanted to ask you was, like, have you incorporated this in your esoteric studies? And like, would you say nutrition plays a significant influence in psychic development?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I've even done lectures on how to build a psychic brain. So there are definitely different foods. So I find if I'm going on tour or I'm traveling, sometimes I'll even just go more on the raw plant-based side of things. So taking in as much biophoton sun plasma energy, and it just, sometimes you can't sleep as much. That's the only downside, is you get so much energy from taking in so much life force, but psychically it does make you feel like you're going on to like a higher realm. Just the insight and everything that comes through is so much clearer. So sometimes when you maybe want like a little bit of a buffer, it can be good to eat heavier, more grounding food. So Rudolf Steiner, he spoke about, eating a lot of root vegetables to ground us, things that are really sort of deep within the earth to kind of lock us in to pull our energy down. So it can be good, like say if you're having too much of psychic experiences, it can be good to eat like more grounding food. But then if you want to actually activate it, anything that's like rich in biophoton energy. Oh, thank you for sharing my link too. I appreciate your admin as well helping. So yeah, from that side of things, looking into, if you guys want to activate this, I do have, I think it's on my YouTube channel on a playlist. I think it's under how to build a psychic brain. You'll see like a full hour lecture on that. So even when I've taught how to see auras, which is a course that I'll be also putting up again a little bit later this year, I'm just doing a bit of editing in that now. So I teach you the spiritual anatomy behind our actual physical anatomy. There is a spiritual anatomy that goes with this. So a lot of acupuncture points are linked into activating these channels and these tunnels of light that we have. There's a lot of beautiful geometries that we have within our actual physical, like bone structure, that I go into and really dive into the architecture of this and how we can switch on and activate some of these beautiful, unseen and hidden I guess, PowerPoints. So yeah, food is a massive, massive part of activating these gifts.
Wow. And what role does neuroplasticity play in spiritual growth? And what is neuroplasticity? Like what I feel like I should know what that means. I do know, but like it's escaping me right now.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So if we look into our neural networks of the brain, neuroplasticity represents think about like plasticity being like plastic or being kind of moldable or changeable. So the way that I relate that to the psychic gifts, and this is to represent the hemispheres of the brain. So for example, a lot of us would have shut off our gifts at a young age. So around 2 to 3 years old, we tend to realize that the orbs that we're seeing around us or the energy fields, that most adults are not interested in this side of things. They're more interested in what they can kind of like knock on or, see in the third dimensional reality. So we start to seal off from these spiritual realms, and even sealing off from, some of the higher dimensions as well as some of the lower ones too. Because you'll quite often, have kids that have imaginary friends, or they'll see ghosts and things that are existing across these multiple spectrums. So one way that we can change the neuroplasticity of our brain and sort of become a little bit moldable, or even choose to like program these little neurons, which is like the brain cell. So we can say, if we see like a flash of light out the corner of our eyes, even if we're just reaffirming it and going, you know what, I actually saw that. What happens is we're actually adding more charge, more energy to these little neurons. These form like little ropey networks or pathways in the brain that start to solidify it. And what happens is every time we then, from then forth, like see another flash of light, we're adding more energy. We're laying down like thicker ropes or thicker roads in the brain to be like, you know what, every time I see this, it's vital information. Because if we think about, and I forget if it's like 30,000, there's some phenomenal amount of bits of information that our brains are actually taking in and registering. And there's only such a small amount that our focus and attention will be. So if we're wanting to tap more into these other realms, or if we're thinking about it as a light spectrum, if we're wanting to widen the spectrum of what we aurically and visually see and take in as part of our experience, part of our reality, even just a little tip like that to rewire our neuroplasticity of the brain, that'll really help to start to increase the amount of things that you see. So this can be both good and bad, depending on if we're ready to see it. So the most important thing is to know protection. And I think on every show that we've done, Rob, I've talked about discernment and really only, I guess, connecting or communicating with beings that have our best and highest good at heart, beings that love us unconditionally. Because I think there is a lot of people, especially in the UFO field, that are, broadcasting out, wanting to connect. And I think there's some people that have really good intention and come from such like a beautiful heart space. And I would hate to see someone get hurt by something negative or trickster like coming in. And I do see sometimes that some of the Skywatcher events and things like that, not everyone, but certain people will be coming at it from an ego point of view and what they want to call in. And they're not coming at it from a point of view of people being protected. And you'll hear stories about people going home and I was even listening to a show the other day, and I think it was Nathaniel Gillies. He talks about, he works in demonology and things, and he was talking about people coming back from some of these events, CE5s and things, that were having things show up in their house, that were having negative experiences or even like demonic, archonic things showing up in their house after some of these events. So I think, put out that statement of, I only connect to that which loves me unconditionally, or that which has my best and highest good at heart. I always talk about saying it 3 times, because there's universal code that, if we say it 3 times, or if we ask a being if they're here for our best and highest good, we have to ask 3 times, because any trickster or anything of a lower nature will be revealed.
Whoa, this is fascinating. Yeah, I just felt my pineal gland activating when you were saying that. It's so strange. Like that. I mean, it's not strange. It's really cool. And so for the audience that are like waking up and discovering their gifts, what advice would you have to them? Okay.
So a lot of people will wonder, or, I guess there's always, when we look to the Marvel comic shows or like DC comics, things like that, everyone has their favorite superhero, or, we look to X-Men and it's like someone might identify more with Jean and the telepathic side of things, or more kind of like, Wolverine and like the super strength, or like the exoskeleton side of things. So sometimes I think the ones that we connect more with, that's maybe, to do with like what our gifts and skills and things might also be connected with, or things that we might like to develop. So I think there's a natural kind of inkling to be drawn to certain characters that maybe represent different spiritual gifts that we have. But I also look at it from like the five senses point of view. So what we can touch, taste, smell, hear, feel. I think I got them all. So if we look into, for me, vision, I guess I have higher than normal vision when my eyes are being tested. So I have 20/12 vision, which is above normal. And so for me, when I look at it from the spiritual senses, my clairvoyant vision has also been activated since I was a child too. So for someone else, it might be that their clairsentience, they're really sensitive to touch. And so if we're looking at a gift that might be for them to develop, it could be first activating that sense or that feeling. So working with psiometry, like picking up an object or a crystal, feeling into it, might be a really natural gift for them to connect with. And sometimes it's not always the one that we want, but I do encourage you guys to work with the one that you naturally have as your expanded physical sense, because that opens the doorway to connect to the others on a multi-sensory level. So there is a thing called synesthesia, I cannot pronounce it.
Synesthesia.
That's the word, synesthesia. So it's like a blending of the senses. So like when I'm doing a reading, and even sometimes we'll get taste come in, which sounds so bizarre, but like I remember reading for one person in particular, and their father had passed, and I could taste wood chips. It was like tasting sawdust in my mouth. And I'm like, this sounds so weird, but he's showing me sawdust. I'm seeing like and smelling like wood chips and things everywhere. Like I'm in a workshop. And she was like, oh, he was a woodworker. That was his job. And it was like, that was just the way that he could convey or bring that through to me so strongly that I could not ignore that. So you will get, so even though like my main gift is clairvoyance, I still hear clairaudiently, I still feel things. You'll get the multitude of senses the more that you work and develop it. And for me, there was no guidebook starting out. And, that's why I do teach, and why I find it's really important to connect to your gifts on a pure level, because I do think there's a lot of misinformation out or misdirection around things. So have a look at like what organically is natural to you and start working from that point forward.
Wow. And then I just wanted to ask you, is there any way you could share a Star Trek language transmission for our audience, or is that too much? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh no, you're totally fine. I would love to do that. So I'll tune in and then I'll translate into English. So I just tune in and get a message for you guys.
I'm going to kind of just close my eyes and tap in.
Yeah. And with light language, it is more kind of like a multidimensional language. So just for the audience as well, just tune in like you would with meditation. And just notice if there's any sensation, any colors that come up, any kind of feeling or familiarness as well. Notice like how your emotional body and awareness also feels.
Ia shayana lalaka, mialanartakala nahtihea, ia salanartukala hiata, ia shayanata lokayana hatake, mialanartakala sonati, ia shayanaralalkoe, ia salanartakala hartoke, mialanartakala hosenati.
So the translation and the vision that I was seeing around that, and I would love to hear if there's anything you want to share as well. But I kept seeing this beautiful temple. It was like this golden temple. It has sort of, like the more kind of like Asian temples will have like the roof line sort of wings up. It kind of looked like that, but it felt almost like this beautiful temple that was a bit of a healing chamber or two. And I just saw like our guides and the higher versions of us being there waiting to connect. So even if later tonight you guys want to meditate, visualize going into this golden temple, this place, and I saw they're giving me the word restoration of gifts. So I do feel we're at this kind of crossroad point in time where we can actually have our gifts come back in to activate and switch on. And we do have spiritual support with that. And I also see that they kept referencing future. And I kept seeing that they were tapping us into the future version of us where we have all of these gifts activated and that it's totally normal for us.
Wow, that was amazing. That was so clearing and healing. That was just like, yeah, that was next level. Holy shit! Wow. Well, thank you, Solreta. This was awesome. And I just wanted to say, I noticed you streamed this to your audience. Like, I think all you have to do is, or if you want me to, like when you leave, because I'm going to keep streaming because I have Chloe on next. Do you want me to remove your channel, or do you want to do it? And I think it'll keep it on there. It's just, I just didn't want you to have to stay on the, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want your channel to have to stay on the whole time while I was on. You know what I'm trying to say? Like.
Oh yeah. If you know how to do it on your end, that'd be so sweet. Thank you, Rob.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you to your audience too. Oh, and I do have, so I've got two websites. I've got Soul Alchemy Potions, which has my potions, my teas, which you use for manifestation and for drawing certain things in that you're wanting to call in on a physical level, and my hypnotic subliminal meditations that are on there that help to reprogram the subconscious mind, because 95% of our reality comes from the subconscious mind. So really important to program the things that we want to be more dominant in our brains and in our life. And also, I think my smoothie book, which is more like the high biophoton energy, that's also on there. And then I've got solreta.com, which is where my bookings are for psychic readings.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I'd love to have you back again. And this was awesome.
Thank you so much. I love being on your show. So thank you for having me, and have a wonderful night. Thanks, guys.
Right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Solreta. See you soon. Take care. That was Solreta. That was amazing. I'll just remove her channels now. That way she doesn't, have to stay on. It won't delete it. It'll just, yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, we're still okay. Yeah, but that was amazing. She's amazing. Like, so we still have we still have Chloe coming on, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take like a 5-minute break, or not a 5-minute break, like a 2-minute break. I'm gonna go outside and get some air real quick. Go have a smoke, and there's Solreta's YouTube. Thank you, Jason, for putting it up. But I don't really have any music to play or anything. Or let me see if I can play something. Let me see, while I take a break here, maybe I could just play the intro music or something. Or if sometimes I'll get hit with copyright, so I'm not trying to, I'll just play this and put it on repeat. And then when we come back, we'll be back with Chloe, hopefully. Because it's getting close. So
welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep. You decide. Questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows unknown reside. Rob Kalil busting myths like ghosts in the night. Paranormal probes, secret space ops. Yo, we keep it real, no fright. Typical skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Aliens, Anunnaki, black ops in disguise. From abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script wide. TSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable. My lab's targeted souls breaking out of the stable. Dogman howling, Bigfoot prowling, cryptids in the mist. Mandela the fifth twist in reality, can't resist the twist. Soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams. Near-death visions, out-of-body missions, waking up the teams. No censorship here, we fear no elite scheme. Conspiracy kings ringing bells, hear the freedom ring. The skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Extraterrestrials, interdimensional highs. Welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep. You decide. Welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep. You decide. Questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows unknown reside. Rob Kalil busting myths like ghosts in the night. Paranormal probes, secret space ops. Yo, we keep it real, no fright. Typical skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Aliens, ain't no wacky black ops in disguise. From abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script. Why TSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable. My lab's targeted souls breaking out of the stable. Dog been howling, big for prowling, cryptids in the mist. Mandela the fifth twist in reality, can't resist the twist. Soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams. Near death visions, out of body missions, waking up the teams. No censorship here, we fear no elite scheme. Conspiracy kings ringing bells, hear the freedom ring. Skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Extraterrestrials, interdimensional highs. Welcome to the typical skeptic podcast, where we dive deep. You decide. You decide. Welcome to the typical skeptic podcast, where we dive deep. You decide. You decide. Questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows unknown reside. Don't reside. Don't reside. Rob Kalil busting myths like ghosts in the night. Paranormal probes, secret space ops. Yo, we keep it real. No fright. No fright. No.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I need like a good like interlude music while when I go in between guests, because I think like what like the future for those of you that are tuning in, I think the future of this show might honestly be Chloe just entered the studio. We're gonna do her intro and we're gonna bring her to the stage. The future of this show might be longer shows with multiple guests, so I might start doing these all the time, like 3-hour shows, 4-hour shows with multiple guests, or even 2-hour shows with 2 guests, however long Chloe wants to stay. But our next guest is Chloeariell. She's also an Australian. She's an intuitive reader and spiritual guide who helps people gain clarity through tarot, oracle cards, intuitive sight, and energy work. Through her online community and her Whimsical Wednesdays YouTube channel, Chloe provides live intuitive readings focused on relationships, life purpose, spiritual growth, ascension, career, and personal transformation. She even gets into targeting, ET contact. Her reading style combines compassion, humor, and practical guidance while encouraging people to trust their own intuition and recognize the messages Spirit is constantly sending. Tonight, Chloe will be offering live audience readings, connecting with spirit guides, and answering questions from viewers while sharing intuitive messages meant to inspire healing, direction, and personal growth. And I'm adding her to the stage now. Where'd she go? Oh, wait. She was there. I don't know what happened. Here she is. Hey, Chloe.
Hi, I've been trying to come in. I don't know what's going on, like 4 times. It's a Mercury retrograde moment. Can you hear me? Maybe not.
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay. Oh, look, I've got a top on. Okay, I forgot to wear this last time, right? Because when I was in America, I got a top that was like 250 years of America.
Oh, wow, that's great.
I got it from your Walmart. And I had it sitting here and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to wear this. So I'm going to wear it on the show. Oh my God, what happened? Oh,
I'm trying to. Hold on. Yeah. I'm trying to reduce background noise because I'm coming through your speaker. Now I'm not. I got it. I got it. I hit reduce background noise. Perfect. Okay. So
look, I want to stream to my audience too, but I'm afraid if I press that button, it's going to send me out. So maybe we'll just get a recording and I'll put it up later.
Well, go ahead. If you want to try to stream it, we have time. I'm not in any hurry.
Okay, because I did this 3 times and it just pushed me out. So I'm going to try, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, here we go. I'll press the button. Oh, yep. Select. I won't put a title on. I'll just do it. All right, done.
What happened? Oh, she disappeared. Oh, gosh. She'll be back. Wait, let me see.
All right, see what happened? Do not press the button. Do not press the button. Right, here's some good energy, right? You've got some good energy. You've had another Australian on. I didn't get to watch the show, but I'm here.
Yeah.
How's it going so far? Yeah.
It's been an amazing show so far. It really has. It's been really good. So, yeah. But How's things been since you got back to Australia?
Well, I just moved house, and I'm just rebuilding basically from the ground up. I got this place that's got another room, so I can do sound healings. That's what I want to do, is like do regular sound healings with people, regular healing groups, and my oracles as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, well, we're doing live readings tonight, guys. If anybody would want a reading, but I even have questions for Chloe too. Let me see here.
Yes.
Let me see. I prepared
Grab my
questions. Yeah, it's been Mercury retrograde. I've been getting hit hard with Mercury retrograde for sure. You know, like
just the technical things, you know what I mean? It's just like ridiculously, like 4 times in a row. Like, okay, every day some technical thing happens. So I'm like, I better check if it's Mercury retrograde, and then I checked and it is. So
yeah,
I know
it is.
some people say, oh, it's just programming, but the thing is, I'm checking after all the technical issues happen. I'm like, oh, it's way too many things, one after the other, and it's like, they say, like, if you've got a lot of Virgo or Gemini in your chart, which is ruled by Mercury, you may have either a positive or, you know, sometimes you skip and it's like, yeah, I didn't feel a thing. But this one is just like one thing after the other. Like, I was on the phone for like an hour and a half this morning, trying to get some technical things sorted out for like a government thing. Anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, and guys, if you want to donate, it does help the show, and I'd like to give Chloe something at the end of the night, and like, so like, yeah, it's I'll put the links in the description to donate. Let me see here, like, I'm gonna log into StreamYard on my computer so I can do that, because it's hard to put it in on a phone. Like, I'm on my phone, so that means I can go outside for part of this too. Like, I am gonna go outside a little bit to get some air, because like, I'll share the links for people to donate, but like, yeah, guys, you don't have to donate. Yeah. You can just request a reading, you know, and yeah, but you know, like, what I was going to say was, yes, Solreta had a lot of really good information. She's next level. You guys are both next level. So, you know, different styles, but that's what makes the show interesting. So,
that is. Everyone has a different style about things, you know. My focus might be on more sort of deep emotional healing stuff. But like, I restarted my Whimsical Wednesday. So people ask me, what's with the Wednesday thing? It's because I used to have my telepathy every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. So I started it up again yesterday. It's Wednesday for you, but it's Thursday for me. But yesterday I started my show again, and I'm really glad I started it again. So I do oracles on there, and I'll channel a bit, like halfway through, telepathy or channeling will come through, you know, for the collective. So even if you go on there and you don't want a reading, you can kind of tune in and get the collective download. And there's a bit of information about, like, what was that? Feedback.
And you're upside down on this video. Like, what is going on? Okay, I'm getting out of this haunted studio because there's obviously some kind of witchery going on here. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm on here, of course. It's gonna happen. But yeah, I mentioned telepathy. That's probably the issue. I don't know. Yeah. So we all have that natural ability. It's basically just reading in the energetic mass consciousness of what's going on at the moment. And we tuned into some galactic energies, like energy craft that are coming into this quadrant of space and all this sort of stuff. I was wondering if it was like the alien invasion thing, but I don't feel like it is. I feel like there's positive, like a lot more positives. Like, I feel like we're getting energetic help. You know what I mean? Was that feedback on your microphone? That's a nice top you got on. Is that Hawaiian?
Yeah, it's Hawaiian. Yeah, it's Hawaiian. I'm going outside for a little bit of this interview.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I wish you were in Hawaii with us. That would have been so good.
Well, that would have been great. That would have been, that would have been amazing. For real.
yeah, it was kind of last minute for me, going to Hawaii. But I'm so glad I did. But I think if we planned it ahead better, I think we would have had more people maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, I'm gonna have a meetup here, Chloe. You gotta come. You know, like I'm in the process of putting a meetup together. I'm not kidding you. Like I really am.
Really?
You know, yeah. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm gonna do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just
If
like,
someone could give me a couple of $1,000, you know, to get there and come back, I'll be very happy about that. Are we talking in the next month, 2 months, 3 months,
no,
or?
I'm thinking like September. Like, you
Okay.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
like that's like, or hopefully if I can do it by then. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so here I'll get to the first. Let me see. This is I'll get to the first one. This one's from Vixen XXI. She says, "I would love a general reading," and
Okay.
I'm gonna
Sweet.
mute my.
I'm going to use my animal dreaming cards. It's an oracle cards, right? Australian animals. I think you've gone funny. I don't know where you are now. Maybe because you walked out of the studio and you're going to your phone, it's kind of rejigging a bit. You know, you just got to go with the flow. So Vixen 13, which is in Roman numerals, X1III, which means 13. The Vixen. I'd love a general reading. Let's have a look. See. It's interesting because as soon as I tune into you, I kind of feel either heartache or in the heart area. I'm trying to figure out if it's like grief or in the lungs about health. And I feel, is it the lungs, the heart. And I wonder about that, or if you've had heartache recently. And I'm wondering if it's more like grief of someone passing or a loss of a relationship, that sort of thing. Oh, I don't know. It's interesting because I can feel it here. So let's have a feel about that. It feels like, because I do healings, right? So I'm an oracle reader, but I do healings. I feel like a heart health and healing around past experiences. Let's have a look at this a bit more. Transmutation is what I'm getting. So if I'm getting what's that? I'm singing. So you're laughing at me. So this is a healing serpent. This is like rainbow serpent energy. Like it's a needing for shifting that, an awareness of needing to purify that out of the body to continue on. And I think it's got Tasmanian devil, so it's a purification. So healing is needed around that. I feel like there's a tendency to maybe a quick sort of anger or get to the point about things, but it's related on past hurts, maybe a bit of anger. So I'm feeling calmness and just an awareness of how that can affect you and affect into relationships, right? I feel like a need for something that makes you calm or a meditative organizing thing. Like I'm looking, actually, I'm opening up a book and it's like a color by numbers, and it's like coloring in the lines. It's like just doing that focus concentration, because a lot of people, when you say meditation, they can't do it, but there's definitely other forms of concentrating, and so you can have that sense of calm and focus. It's what is needed, because there's been a lot of tumultuous like trauma in the past. We don't have to go into it, but there is a need now, because with all the solar flares coming up, it's bringing up a bit of density in the body. So it's just an awareness, and observing of yourself and how that, affects yourself and other people. I know it's really to the point, this one, but it's what else can we say about the healing, about focus, intention? It's like art therapy. I want to open up a book and I want to do color by numbers. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, that's what I can feel. It's just because like there's a big thing of meditate, and but there's other forms of meditating, right? So I can have this coffee. There's a Buddhist monk who says you can meditate while having a coffee, right? Or drinking a coffee. It's just through focus, intention, getting everything out of your mind that's bothering you, people in the past, experiences and stuff like that, right? And just observing and just focusing. Because the mind can be like a monkey and take over, right? Constantly remunerating and thoughts that go around, right? So
Yeah.
to bring back that equilibrium and that grace, you got the black swan, which is grace, and calmness is needed. All right, okay, that's it.
Okay. The next one we got a donation. It was from Eric. Let me hold on. If I cut out at the email,
Yeah.
it was from.
Bear with us, we've got a few technical issues, and in between I'll sing about it. And by the time the song ends, the technical issues will be gone. Yeah.
I was trying to read his message on PayPal. It says he says he wants a reading on moving forward and like manifesting. And hold on, I'm going back to it again. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay, so is that Eric 333 or is that another
Yeah,
Eric?
yeah. Manifesting.
Oh, you're
Did
cutting
you
in
hear
and
that?
out. What
He
was
said
that?
manifesting health and getting back on track with his missions.
Okay. Eric 3 healing is definitely coming up. I don't feel like you're going through any healing at the moment. I mean, you're mentioning healing, but are you doing that? Because it's like we can't get along, we can't get on to creating or manifesting or weaving our dreams into the reality because we've got spider and weaver of dreams. Right? But we've got healing and it's upside down with the kookaburra. Kookaburra is telling you that it's like you're talking about it, but there's no action in regards to that. Are you seeing a kinesiologist? Are you seeing an energy healer? Are you doing something about it? You're wanting to do something about it, but there's something from, visualizing and daydreaming, and then there's taking action, because I'm not seeing action in the cards. Do I sound like a real hardcore like person today? Very to the point. Like
It's okay.
sometimes I worry about being too direct. Like I've got to like beef it up with like some la-di-da. Like, you know what I mean? And your higher self will know the right outcome for you. And I feel like there's counselors, but it's like I understand why people don't trust the medical establishment anymore, due to, the last 4 or 5 years. But it feels like there's someone who's a bit more like integrative, like a holistic person that will be really helpful for you, because there's a needing to sort of share with someone else the experiences of the past to then help you solidify things into action. Because whilst you've got all that, things to heal and trauma, it's hard to be able to move on. And once you start doing that, then you'll get all these other things in place, right? Then you'll start moving towards goals. What's
Yeah.
this? Lots about healing, taking lots of action, just mainstream and alternative. Jot mainstream and
He
alternative.
means
So
not mainstream.
yeah,
Or maybe
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. No, I understand. I'm just reading the cards, and I can kind of see that, so something like sound healing, maybe join my Whimsical Wednesdays when I start getting the sound healing up and going. Sound healing is very powerful. It's much more powerful than people give it credit for. So the sound will come through, and it's frequencies that come through that you're listening to, like binaural beats and that sort of thing. Yeah. So that energetically changes and shifts the frequency within the person if you've got the right sort of sound healing, right? So when I do sound healing, it's like light language comes through. So you hear that light language, because there's a need for tears to come out, but it's hard with the biofield and the body because it's kind of locked in there. And I'm just reading the cards here. I can see that. I would definitely go for alternative as well, because I feel like the alternative healers, such as we're the right way. We're the right way to go. Unless you get a really good counselor who's energetically like got the ability to shift frequency and is able to hold space safely with that person, so then they can shift and heal themselves. Yeah. That's what it feels like. It's kind of everything's kind of locked in. It's like it's getting to a point where we need to see. What are you doing in regards to alternative healing? Tell me, Eric. I'll get to the point. You know what I mean? What is it that you're doing right now? Yeah. Because that's what I can see. And it keeps on, everything's upside down, all the cards, and it's like, look, Mercury retrograde is probably the best time to go into the past and look at what's working for you, what's not working for you, and how to move on in your life. It's like a re-looking at the past and the things that have happened. That's why people don't have a great time sometimes, because it's not just the technical stuff, like it's going backwards, the planet. So it's like looking back at the past and see what's working for you and what's not working for you. Okay. There's a need to look into things, right? And take action in regard to alternative healing. Okay. Have you been to a sound therapy group, sound healing group? That even if it's like that, you've got the connections, you've got networks, you're meeting other people, and hopefully you're getting like the right practitioner that's giving you that frequency healing. Okay. Because everything's too locked in. I don't like the feeling of the locked inness. It needs movement in your biofield. Okay.
And
I hope
one thing
that
you guys can
helps.
do, I was going to say, one thing you guys can do for more movement is like, look what I'm doing. I'm trying to set an example, guys. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys have noticed, but like every night when I do these nightly shows, like I've been going out on walks, like, and I try to hit 10,000 steps every day on my pedometer, but like some days I'll hit 17,000, some days I'll hit 18,000.
Wow.
Back when I was working out and I would be in shape, I'd hit like 28, 30,000 steps a day. But right now it's like, I try to hit 10,000, but I figured like, man, if people are watching this tonight, they can just grab their phones and
Yeah.
go for a walk, I mean,
Yeah.
get your
That's
body
right.
moving, even if you're not completely eating right, you can always make a change. Like you can start today and
Oh,
it can have effect in the long run, right? I don't know.
that's so inspiring, Rob, because you're looking a bit grey there for a bit, and now you've got the pink back in your face, which means that you've got more oxygen in, like you're walking around, So yay. I'm glad
I
you're doing
mean,
that.
I used to
Because
be a
it's really,
hardcore. I think
yeah,
I told you this in private. I used to be a
yeah,
hardcore fitness. Like I was in really good shape at one point. Like I used to do like, oh my God, I was able to do like 50, 60 pull-ups. Like I would do like 400 or 500 push-ups a day, like 300. I was insane, but like,
yeah.
I don't know, like age comes with, like, and that running now turned to walking, but I'd like to start jogging again if I could, I don't know.
Yeah, well, just work your way up to it,
Yeah.
because your focus has been on doing your show for a while now. So you just got out of the habit of like doing the exercise, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're bringing it back into balance for sure, and I can see that you're losing weight, you're getting trimmer, and it's not just that, it's good for the brain too when you've got
Yeah.
more oxygen. Yeah,
And it'll help things move in your body. Like you said, it helps move the energy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Sometimes energy becomes stagnant, you know?
yeah.
And and
It's true.
and that's when people can also have someone like you come in and help, where you're an energy healer and you can
Yeah,
actually move that stagnant energy too, besides physical movement,
yeah.
right?
That's right. Yeah. And I can facilitate and sort of hold space for people to see. I can sense into what's stuck, right? If they've got a lot of grief, what age that grief was, childhood trauma, and then I can hold space and sort of be a bit directive of how we're going to visualize and go into talking to the inner child. But I think it's helpful, you know, to understand what's really going on, because when you're sort of talking to, like, say, like a mainstream counselor, they'll get you to talk about certain things. Eventually you might get to the point. But I think it's really good to have a bit of both. Like, I've got a background as a counselor, so I'm not poo-pooing the whole thing. I think you can get some really good counselors. But I think when you're mixing it with the alternative, right? So I'm sensing into some stuckness in the body. It's helpful to hold space with it. Some people don't even realize that they've got a whole lot of like grief and anger in there, because their whole lives they're just trying to like stick above the, out of coping. Is just like push it down. I'm just trying to survive and live here, which I think a lot of us are actually in that kind of survival lifestyle now. I don't know many people that are thriving currently. Do you?
Yeah. No, not really.
You
No.
know? So yeah.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me see if anybody else donated, or if not, I'll just go to the next reading. Okay, the next. Oh, there was Jackie.
Jackie.
Jackie, if you want a reading, put your name in the chat. I'll get the next one. So the next one was you have D Ocean's Woo, and she said she wanted a reading earlier. She's a psychic herself. She's done readings on my channel.
Yeah. Okay. She goes, I love the frequency vids. I've always have them running in the background. Yeah, I love it too. Like, I was playing Calm Whales last night because I was just like, I love listening to things, but like it's important to have that, meditation or chilled out music. Just to get your focus. I like it when I meditate. I just sit there and I listen to nice music. Okay. 3 cards. I've got a need for purification or letting go of something or someone, because I've got the Tasmanian devil and it's upside down. So someone around you is possibly causing a bit of like disruption, because I've got the loyalty dog here, right? It's a little blue healer and it's upside down, right? It feels like some sort of disloyal, something to be aware of, right? Disloyalty or sabotage, or someone who's kind of poking around where they shouldn't poke around, because it's stopping you. It's like there's your dreams, right? You've got the weaver of dreams, like you want to manifest and do things, but it's like someone's coming in and like kind of pulling out the things that you want to put in place. And it might be just someone who's, let's have a look, is it a friend, is it a partner, someone from the past? Someone from the past, okay? And it's like a reputation thing. Like, when someone's like jealous of you and they're out there, and it's like someone from the past, like trying to ruin reputation. Something to be aware of, right? Because you want to kind of manifest or build something. But it's like, someone being petty and trying to pull or get involved. Does that make sense? D Ocean. Wonder, is she aware of it?
No. She didn't respond.
Yeah, she's probably just listening to it and wondering, who the hell is that? Yeah, because it's coming up in the cards. But let's just have a look at how she can like bring that back into balance. Just be open about it, because there's a secret keeper and it's upside down, frog mouth, right? Upside down. Be open about it, talk about it, because you're trying to figure it out. What is this? And then healing will come from it, right? Just look in the past, right? There's always been this thing, a repeated pattern in the past with, I don't know if it's female relationships or male or female, male relationships, right? It does, when I first pulled it, I felt like it was some sort of relationship from the past, right? Yeah, it's just coming up in the cards. There's something to be aware of. I wonder if she's aware of it. She probably is, I'd say. It's like, oh, God, that person again. I'm just a messenger, right? But it's like someone's poking around in things that they shouldn't be poking around, or saying things about you, right? To just as a medium, as a psychic, right? One of the things that, you know, we survive on is credibility, right? Our skill sets, our reputation, and that sort of thing, right? But if someone doesn't want you to get you ahead, they can spread rumors about you, right? Or ruin your reputation, right? But you've got, I feel like you've got your own loyal following, and just to be aware of that person is doing that sort of thing. Feels a bit narky, like narcissistic type person. Yeah. Impact, is there impact? Yeah, a little bit of impact. You've got the willpower, just keep on doing what you're doing, but understanding that there is a bit of that going on. I think that's just coming up in the cards, just for her awareness. She can go into it, as if she's a psychic, she can tune into it and get a bit more exact, right, about what I'm talking about, what's coming up in the cards here. So we get a bit of like, people might say, what are you saying that for? You have to be all positive. It's like, it's actually positive when you get warnings about things, you know, it's like just an awareness, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Because some people, some psychics just want to go all positive, and it's all very lovely to do that. But you also, awareness is key too. You know, that this is going on. It needs, the cards are showing a light on that, right? Okay. It's probably spinning out, going, what is that about? I hope not. Maybe you've got an idea. Yeah. All right.
Chloe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's a very interesting kind of readings that I'm getting. You know,
They're all
every,
interesting. They're good though. Yeah.
yeah, every time I do this, it's so different every time. You know.
Every time I see this lady's name, I think of the Silence of the Lambs. So this one is Clarice Claudette. Thank you
Oh,
for the
really?
super chat, Andromeda. But this next one was from Clarice, and she says, I don't know what her. She says, I would like a reading, Rob, if possible.
Clarice Claudette. Yes.
Oh God, that makes me think of the Silence of the Lambs. You remember him saying that name, Clarice? It was so
Yes.
spooky.
You know, the creepiest one was when he said, like, you put the lotion on it.
Oh yeah, that was that Buffalo Bill. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, the weirdo who's dressed up in like something, just being a sleazeball, and then going, you put the lotion on it. You know, I think that gave me nightmares
I think that
because he
dude's
was,
secretly someone from our community.
what?
I'm kidding.
Really? Oh no. Just to be aware. Tell him have you had a interaction with the lotion man? What are we gonna call him? Buffalo Bill. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, going back to the reading. It's a bit of a wacky night.
Oh wait, this
Okay.
is Jackie. Sorry, this is Jackie. Well, we'll do Clarice now. I'm sorry, Clarice. Jackie said she would like. Sorry, to kind of shift
Which,
focus if you can. This is Jackie. I thought
okay,
I pulled up
I
Clarice.
can.
I'm sorry.
I hadn't started the Clarice one because we were laughing about Silence of the Lambs.
We'll
So
do. They
anyway, let's
all
get
three of them.
back.
All three of them don't. So Clarice will be next, and then we'll do Andromeda. And thank you
Okay,
guys.
so
Yeah.
Jackie. Tell me that you feel the same. Tell me that you feel the same. Tell me that you feel the same. Relationship, something to do with relationship, either in a relationship or wanting to have a relationship. Is she in a relationship? Does she want to have a relationship? The middle card is transmutation. So that's, I can feel that this one is about shifting perspectives and looking at things on a different angle. It's like when you go dating, or you want to go dating, or you've got a partner, right? And you've got all these like things that you want, right? I've got like a big long checklist for certain things, right? Which is all very well and good, right? But it's like the person, or tell me about this. Okay. The person that you require or want that would be the most optimal for you is not going to hit all those obvious kind of lists. It's like there's other there's someone else. Does that make sense? Record keeper. So it's like the record keeper is like there's a soulmate that's not so obvious. It's like starting off with friendship and close reliability and loyalty. She doesn't know, she hasn't really directed me about what this reading's about, so I'm kind of just going like generally, and so that this is what I'm getting in regards to like a future playmate, soulmate, friendship. Because it starts off as friendship. There's dolphins here, so I've got little dolphins, they're playing, and it's like meet up with someone that you get along with, that you laugh with, and you just have a really good time with, right? And that's a really good basis of a friendship. And that may lead to something else, right? But whilst we've got all these kind of like ideas about what a good relationship would be, it's kind of like it stops that future or something beautiful coming in if we've got too many rigid ideas. Okay. But I want to know exactly, because you didn't sort of specify if it was a round relationship or anything like that. It's kind of, I'm just going with it. Because if you were to say, oh, I'm looking for a business partner or something like that, do you know what I mean? I'd say, you know, just be open-minded about who you want to work with, who you want to play with, who you want to relationship with. It needs to have a bit more open-mindedness about it, especially when it comes to what someone looks like, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? Their heart is pure and beautiful, you know. Yeah. Does that make sense, Jackie? Because I'd like a bit more specification on that, if I could like open it up a bit more. Does that make sense? Yeah. Not
I think that
answering.
makes sense. Yeah. And what because let me see here. Wait, Missy Hill left a funny comment.
Yeah. Missy and me did a really cool show the other day, global in grid work investigations, and we were working on like Catalina Island, and I actually looked into the history of it after, and I was like, oh my god, it was the Battle of LA. It was like stuck in that energy in that island from the coast of Los Angeles. It was really cool. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful.
Okay, so we've got
Okay,
Jackie, so I might go on to the next. I hope
okay,
that
yeah, this is Clarice
yeah.
Cadet. Yeah, she's next.
Hi, I'm too sweet for that movie. Oh, the Silence of the Lambs. I
Yeah,
don't know why it got so, because it was so creepy and it was so different. And the guy that played the serial killer did such a good job. Well, I forgot he's a very well known actor. And Anthony something. Anyway, creepy as anything, but he did a really good job, and so did Jodie Foster. Was it Jodie Foster? Yeah. Okay, so let's go into Clarice.
yeah,
And she just wants a general reading. Like,
yeah,
I'd like to get a little bit of specification. I can do like a reading, right? Okay, so I get the finances because I've got a dowry, a bluebird, and it's upside down. It's like there's no money in the coffer. What's going on? Okay, and a bowerbird and dowry. Dowry's about building a nest, right? But if it's upside down, it's like there's no sort of there's a need to build the nest and put some money away. It's like, well, how do I do it? Finances. I feel like it's around that. A needing to go on an inner journey. I've told this it's got a koala on there, but I've told this to other people before as well, that I love putting drumming music on and listening to shamanic drumming. And before I go into the shamanic drumming, I'll ask a question like, oh, how do I help my finances? What do I need help with? How can I remove this block What can I do to remove this block out of the way? Okay, so it's like I'm getting a clairvoyance now of like someone who wants to, it's like start their own business, right? And I want to make cupcakes, right? And decorate them in a beautiful way. And then they're in a shop. It's like a bakery. But this woman is feeling like she's not good enough, or what she does is not good enough, right? That's the block. Because the thing is, you've got like a sense of style and joie la vie about you, I want to say, that other people don't have. You're a good like picker of designing things. Like you've got a design. I feel like I'm taking on your personality a little bit. There's this something. I don't know what is. You've got really good discernment about things that are stylish, and you love your shoes, and you've got this like style about you, right? So bringing that in, because that's a skill set, right? That you can use for a business. I'm getting a loyalty card, right? Because I feel like you'll get customers. I don't even know if you've thought about any of this. This is you've given me just a random, there's no direction. I'd love a little bit of direction, guys, when I'm doing a reading, but that's what's coming forward. It's ideas about finances and how I can bring more money in. I wonder if you like pull clothes apart and like you can stitch them back together, or if there's a sewing, if you've got something to do with clothing, and you've got a really good eye and a really good picker for things. And if you haven't thought about doing that now, I wonder about sewing and making your own clothes, or getting sort of secondhand clothes, putting a couple of things on them and like doing them up and then selling them online. Yeah. Because I feel like you'll get like a loyal like fan base wherever it is, even if it's on like Etsy or something like that. People like something about what you do. And I can't really pick what it is. It's like I'm saying cupcakes. It's like you're making something and designing it, even if it's like a hat. Like, you know, we have in Australia the horse races here, and there's people that get hired to be milliners, right? So they make these amazing hats, right? They're simple, but they, you know, someone who's got the right eye and the craftsmanship made that hat, right, to sell to people. This lady has that kind of eye for things. But it's about like putting it into action, and you know, you can make a decent little part-time gig out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is she thinking about finances? Does that make sense? Claudette? That's what's coming up with the card. Yeah.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something funny about the horse races that I know? Because I've been following horse racing since I was a kid. Like, so the United States tracks run the opposite way than the Australian tracks do. Like the Australian tracks run like counterclockwise, and the American tracks run clockwise. It's weird. Like it makes no sense. Like it's for real.
Well, it's so interesting because I mean we have cyclones and they go anti-clockwise, and like it does make sense if you're in the southern hemisphere versus the northern. But you think, do the horses know that? Horses are pretty intuitive.
That's a good point. Like, you know, like, and then like, do they bring Australian horses here? Or do we bring American horses there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's both. Like
because like you know, we have the Kentucky Derby every year. I've been trying to follow. I've been following the Kentucky Derby every year since it's like, you know, I mean, because like I don't know, I had an uncle that used to take me to the track when I was like 18 years old. You know, so I was like, I don't know.
It's totally an institution here, especially if you live in Melbourne, you know, to go to the horse races. But the thing is, I refuse to go because I do not like the way that the horses are treated. And I have to shout out and say there's a thing going on with the Brumbies here, and I think it's gone international at Mount Kosciuszko, where they're culling all the beautiful Brumby horses in the wild, which is just horrific. And so international backlash because of that. In the year of the fire horse, me being a horse in Chinese astrology, I just think it's unnecessary, and I don't understand what the whole culling of beautiful like ostriches and horses, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I feel like it's quite nefarious. You know, I have to say that out loud. You know, do you know about the Brumbies that are being like culled here? Horrible. Don't understand it.
Why are they doing that? Like,
Well, some people are saying it's almost like a death cult ritual kind of thing, because there's literally no reason. People will say, oh, they're hurting the environment, but they live in balance with the environment. You know, think of all the people that like cutting down trees and like building, you know, I don't know, like, the human species, like, oh, unbelievable. We need to learn to live in balance with nature, for God's sakes. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Just wanted to say that in that moment.
You make really good points. So the next person is the Andromedan, and let me see here.
Yeah.
Not giving me much of a.
Oh, what's happened? Oh, he's gone. So Andromedan, you want a reading next? I wonder if I can get. Can I get the I don't know if I can. Oh no, I didn't. Oopsie.
I can't put up his. Oh, there's his comment from the Andromedan. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm wondering, why do I have double lives? What do you mean, that your life is being lived here and somewhere else? What is it? Okay, let's have a look. I don't really understand. As in, like, you're living. I don't understand. You need to expand on that. Because I'm getting record keeper and it's upside down. So how do you know about the double lives? Is it an Akashic reader or someone saying? I don't know. Seems quite confusing to me. Record keeper. Okay, I can see that you're sitting there. You've got a purple light around you, and you're in meditation, right? It's just put your focus on meditation. That's what I'm getting. I'm not sure about the double lives things, because I'm not getting anything about that. Double lives. I think just be discerning about where your information, you get your information. If someone's given you that information, or you feel like that, just expand on it and try and understand what that means and what it's about. And I suppose that's why you're coming to a reader, but it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting the little mouse here and it's scrutiny, so it's upside down. So just discernment around that. What do you believe is true for yourself may not be true for others. And even if someone's giving you information, right? So a reader like myself or someone else gives you information, scrutinize it. Does it feel right? If it doesn't feel right, or you feel confused, or there's doubt, just let it go. Because what's the point of having that, unless the information is there to help you, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know who the reader is or anything like that, but what is the point of telling you that information if it's for healing purposes? Like, oh, I've got a double life, and that life over there is having a much better life, but in the same consciousness. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, same consciousness, but they're living in a mansion and they're having everything easy. Oh, is it like the SSP stuff? Is that what you're trying to get at? Yeah, like someone else is living a life in another parallel reality, that sort of thing. I don't get it, right? Sorry, but it's just like, it's just saying scrutinize everything that you get in regards to information. Main thing for you, Andromedan, is meditating. You're going to get a lot out of it. It's just focused intention, and I feel like that lifts your vibration up. Don't get too trapped in the sort of intellectual or the mental figuring out of things. It's just go into your heart. One of the biggest things that you can do is just connect to yourself and your feelings and your heart. A lot of people are just cut off. In our society, there's a lot of like focus on the mental and the logical, and not so much focus on the connection between the mind and the heart, because a lot of people are cut off from the heart. Just the way that our society has been for generations, intergenerationally. Yeah. That's what I'm getting for that.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, let's see here. We didn't get any other donations. Let me check again. If anybody would like to put your name in the chat, it would help if you donate, but like we're trying to have fun here too, so whoever wants a reading, just put your name in the chat.
It's interesting though, because the cards are very like to the point and serious and kind of cutting to the chase. Usually it's like, oh, it's a bit more fluffy, you know what I mean? I'll change the deck of cards. The animals are like
Well,
Syrian
why don't you want to read me, Chloe?
Yes.
I can take it.
Oh, you can take it. Right. That's good. Oh, I feel like a schoolmaster today. Don't do that. Do this. Some people like that though, being very direct, rather than stuffing around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, I wanted to say something else. I think it's a swear word. Okay, let's have a look. See. So, what do you want to ask about? Anything in particular? Give me a bit of direction.
I would always say like my business or my love life or business, whatever.
It's okay. So something like shifting and changing. When we get the Tower card in tarot, it means a disintegration of old, right? So that's the Tower. Something you're doing is not working for you. It's like it needs to be looked at in a different way. It's like I want to say like a building that's been demolished. I know that sounds a bit you're like hardcore, but I've got abundance and it's upside down. It's like doing something in a different way. Okay.
Yeah.
There needs to be a different way of going about things. To bring, because I think there's been finances that are hard, right? Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But there is an opportunity that I think you've your intuition's been telling you, but you haven't really put enough energy towards it, because I know people would pay you for it, right? It's that consultation thing about doing your own podcast. Do you get the intuition constantly about that? Do this, do this. Does that make sense?
I haven't got them recently because like I didn't get too much interest in it, so I just
I'm interested in it. I know. I reckon I'm interested in it. Other people are interested in it. You'd be surprised, I think. I feel like there's got to be like a separate page that people can log in and like join the workshops or something that you do.
yeah.
It says adept at orbs, looking at the opportunities, right? So I can see a little like you've got the idea there. You've got a bit of like in regards to relationship, a bit of a knight in shining armor, right?
Yeah.
You like to sort of rescue and help people, which the knight in shining armor archetypal people, they always get in trouble because they get like damsels in distress, right? People,
Yeah.
women that are needy and wanting help in certain ways, but it's like it activates your knight in shining armor because you're a really good guy, right?
Yeah.
But there can be a trap in that. That's what all I want to say about that is just to be aware. Did you understand that about yourself,
Yeah.
that you're a bit of a knight in shining armor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but it can be like you may be like manipulated and led down a different track than what you want out of helping people. I mean, who hasn't got in trouble with that? I have, been so nice and I'm going to help this person and fix this person, but they're like pulling me down into the water, into chaos. It's
Yeah.
about discerning about that, because that something needs to shift in regards to that. And I think if you looked at yourself and saw how you play that role of the knight in shining armor, I think that part of you shifts and changes after a while. It's like, no, I can do better for myself. Actually, I need someone on like my level, right? I'm
Yeah.
worthy of someone who's, got the same interests like me, but has their heart in the right place, is what I can hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do see the opportunity in your business to do consultations, actually. I do. I feel like you've got like the other people that have tuned in tonight is like abilities and skill sets that you're not valuing enough or realizing that you've got that over 4 or 5 years and working in your own podcasts. You've got some
Yeah.
skills that are actually quite valuable, and I would like to have a consult. And the thing is, I think that in the community, a lot of people don't have money, but people would pay you like $100 or $50 even if you did like a webinar and took people through the process of what you do so they can start doing it for themselves, because there is value in it, right?
Yeah, I do need to do that.
Yeah, you really do. You don't have to charge hundreds of dollars. You can do like $25 to $50. People will have that money to pay you if it's like, I'll show you how I do this, like going on Spreaker and I want to do it. No, I'll pay you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'll pay it off by doing oracle readings on your show. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there seems to be the theme today and yesterday in regards to readings that I've been doing, because there's always a theme, right? Is hidden skill sets that
Yeah.
people don't personally value enough, that other people do value. Like for me, it's like drawing and being able to pick up a pencil and paper and I can draw a lot of things, right? But I don't
Yeah.
really put that up as a like, oh, it's a really good skill set. But someone who's like has no skills in that would be like, admiring my skill set and going, wow. But I just kind of take it for granted. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
every day I use it. There seems to be the bit of a theme going on with the sessions that I've been doing. Yeah. 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 I hope that makes sense. We
Yeah.
kind of
Did
got a
we?
W.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This lady asked for a reading a while ago. This is K41. Did we get her yet?
Callie, why is Willard asking you for a reading? Do you have talent for reading?
I just put that's just a random comment, but did we get her yet? Did we get K41?
I don't know. It says, Callie, why is Willard asking you for a reading? Do you have talent for reading? I don't know. I don't know what that is about.
That's
Just
just a rumble chat. But no, but like K herself wanted a reading. K wanted
okay.
to K, yeah.
Did we
And then we
read
got.
for her already or not? No. It looks
Hey,
similar
did we
photo
read
to
for
the.
you yet? Hey, did we read for you yet? I can't remember. Like,
It looks like the same picture in the beginning of for someone. Am I confused?
we already read for her. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
Phil said yeah. So thank you for keeping me on track, guys. So yeah, we'll go to Flicks Love once
I just wanted to ask you a question, right? Do you feel like this 4th of July in America was like, did people celebrate as much as they used to? Do you know what I mean? I kind of feel like maybe, you know, people.
they so yeah, it was good. It was there was a lot going on, but I mean, like
Yeah.
it wasn't like it's like I don't know, it was supposed to be a big one because it was supposed to be America's 250. I
Yeah.
mean, if you go by the Gregorian calendar, but I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think, it's the correct calendar, to be honest with you. I don't think that's, so
Yeah.
I mean, plus, like, who knows? Like, they say there were people here way before Columbus got here, or like,
Yeah.
or the day we got our independence was 1776. But they say there was all kinds of people here, like,
Yeah.
like, like,
The, t- the tall red-headed giants that the natives pushed out. Yeah. Have you
yeah,
heard about them?
yeah, yeah.
How
Plus,
interesting is that?
there's little people here. I believe there
Yeah.
were little people. I believe there might have been elves all over the world. I think this is all over the world, and I believe the continents were
Yeah.
once connected. I think it was literally like Middle Earth here from Lord of the Rings, is what I'm trying to say. I
Yeah.
really think at some
Yeah.
point, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think it's continents have risen and fallen over many a millennia, and I think our continents end up looking really different over a time. And I think that
Yeah,
we're going through that again. Like water will be in places that water wasn't, and continents will rise from the seas and go down into the different places. That's what I feel. I think continents go through a stage of evolution. Yeah. And faster than
Absolutely.
what we think. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Jason donated for Kim Bam. So, so if Kimberly Bamford wants a reading, this, so if you can
Hi,
just tap the name,
Jason.
if you
Hi,
could tap
Dane.
into the name Kimberly Bamford. Let me see if she's in the chat
Yeah.
tonight. Kimberly, if you're in the chat, can you put a comment in the chat so I can pull you up so she can tap into you?
Yes. Hi, Jason. I saw Jason in Hawaii. I think you know that. So it's funny because Jason was on my channel when I had my channel, the previous one, Jason under Jason H. And so when I
Yeah,
met him, and I was like, oh my God. Isn't that funny? Even
that's
before,
cool.
I
You guys
think,
got to meet in person.
well, I don't know whether you had your channel in like 2020. Was it 2019?
I
I
started
was
in
in
2019. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started in 2020 and Jason was following me then. And then when my channel got exploded in, deleted and cancelled three years ago, he he was in yours. Pretty good. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
Kim
they
Bam,
won't give me
Kim Bam.
mine back either. By the way, they won't give
No.
me my first channel back. Like I
Yeah.
lost 20,000 subscribers, and they will not give it
Wow.
back. Like they gave other people theirs back, but they won't give me mine back for some reason. Like I don't
Well,
understand.
they were deleting my videos on my YouTube before I even realized it. There was like 6 or 7 videos that completely got deleted. And I was like, oh my God. There were one that I was talking to a rock, telepathing with this giant rock, and it was just like next level information. And then they just deleted it. So just
Yeah,
say la vie, it's gone,
yeah,
Okay, Kim Bam, Kim Bam. Getting this like
there she is.
I'm in deep grief. Okay. So information, I get ribbons, like red ribbons falling down. It's like someone's walking through a curtain, a wooden like frame bed, and there's like these curtains that are coming down. And I feel like it's in between the veils. Maybe someone has passed in between the veils in deep grief. All right. There's abundance here. I know that you're in deep grief. Something's come out of the blue. And I don't know if it's a passing of someone, right? Or letting go of someone. Because I'm getting kind of like, I know you're going through this at the moment. But it's a part of the process of your life. I'm getting abundance. But I can see you saying I want a deep reading because I'm in deep grief, right? And it's like I can see the positive of abundance, right? And it's like they want to talk about spiritual guidance and your ability to see and connect into the afterlife. I don't know whether you know this about yourself, but you're going through this because it's a major transition into accepting the gifts that you already have and realizing that it is, again, same theme, a skill set that you either don't realize that you have or is coming into an awakening. So I've got this Buddha upside down and guidance, right? So I feel like you're the one who gives guidance eventually to other people. But at the moment, it's like something's come out of the blue, unexpected, and there's a grief process with that. Because I can see that why the thunderbolt coming out of nowhere, right? A thunderbolt that's going 3 of orbs. It's really strange because there's like a UFO in the middle of the lake there. And I wonder if this person is an experiencer and has had dreams, if they realize it or not, or have been taken on board ships, right? So you've got the galactic connection with as an experiencer, but you're going through a bit of a hard time at the moment. I think that's why they're giving you kind of like this spiritual insight. You need to understand that you are connected to source and you have a beautiful relationship with the light. And it's like, well, what is this all for then? I can feel that. Is for you to forge that connection and tether that connection even stronger that you had that you had even before. Do you understand that about yourself, Kim? That you have a mediumistic ability that will be coming online. Does that make sense, Kimberly Bamford? It might be that it's just so full on right now with the grief process, right? That the guides are wanting to show her there's spiritual reasonings for this. And when I connected into the veil and the ribbon, and that's when I got more of the information. It's like a doorway. You have a doorway or an ability to see beyond the veils and to the other side. And I wonder about even bringing forth the person. Yeah, I can see the tower.
She says yes, she doesn't. She says she's been told this before, so it must be really resonating with her, I feel.
Yeah. Well, it is, and I know you're going through a really hard time because I got the tower card, but upside down, right? When you're going through this, when you're in the gutter of gutters and you've got like no hope, it's like grief upon grief, and just feel into your heart and connect with the light and forge that bond and that connection to your guides, because that is what this experience is trying to do for you, right? I feel like you can go to a spiritualist center and like learn mediumship or go into a mediumship circle, because your grief is pushing you into wanting to connect to your loved one in the afterlife, right? You can do this for yourself. You may see it like talking to a psychic medium like me. I trained as talking with the afterlife, and my forging my connection with the spirit world, so then I can do the shamanic healings that I do now. And oracle readings are an extension of that, right? But Kim, you have that ability, and yeah, forging it is really important going forward in the future, but to just take a bit of time. You've got some tears and grief to go through. You're going through a process right now. Okay. Skill sets, hidden skill sets. Hey, abundance with that. Right. I feel like you'll end up doing readings for people and connecting a bit more. Okay. I'll leave you with that.
Person is Felicia or Flix. Let's see here. Flix. Hold on, I gotta get this out of my pocket. So it doesn't. Okay, where's Flix? Flix, you're up next. Let's see here. I just put up any comment because, like,
Yeah. So
okay.
when are you gonna do your consulting, Rob?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about it yet. I could start soon.
Yeah, like just create a page that people can click on, and when you say, don't make it AM in the morning for me, This is good, like at night, right? And then I
Yeah.
can do it in the morning, But it's good. You have a skill set, and I think you can get consultation money, right? That's
Yeah.
going to help your bank account, because it's really important. But I'm so glad that you're walking and getting your health up and going, because that was not great when I talked to
Yeah.
you last time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have bad relationships and I let myself go. I can't do
Yeah.
that.
No, because I like relationships are a trigger for me too, because I've got attachment trauma. I'm just like, I'd rather just have friends, because like breaking up with people is so devastating.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks bad. Yeah. It's traumatic for sure. It is. It's,
You've got all of us, Rob, in your community that love you very much, and it might not be amorous, but it's platonic, And
yeah,
yeah.
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good, thank you.
Yeah. You're like family, you know, like all of us, you know, love the fact that you.
I gotta turn my camera off. I gotta change my shirt. My shirt's soaked with sweat. I'm gonna have to get a shower after this. But
Okay.
I didn't realize how much I walked. My whole shirt's soaked. So I can still talk to you, but I'm just changing my shirt.
Okay.
Real quick.
All right.
And you guys know I'm not gonna do a strip tease on camera, guys. you don't want to see that.
Boom. Let's see how much you've lost weight, Rob. That's
Oh my
right.
god.
Was there someone else who wanted
Yeah.
to read?
Flix, I have her up on the screen. Flix.
Okay, sorry. All right, Flix Love. Flix Love. I think I've had Flix Love maybe on another channel I've seen their name. Okay. Flix Love. Okay. Oh. Five of Chalices. I was feeling like the positivity of that, but then I got this lady who's sitting sort of with her hands in her face next to two glasses in front of her. And I wonder about relationship and a breakup or something about that. Because I've got Ascension here, but it's upside down. And I can hear, don't allow other people to lower your vibration. You have it all within yourself, dear one. You have all the abilities that you can forge within yourself. You need to believe in yourself a bit more than you do. To forge the fires within your soul, there are skill sets that need to be developed, if not already developed within yourself. So I'm getting these four fires of flame and a castle here, but it was all upside down like that. It's like there's leaking of energy in regards to some situation in the past. And I wonder about that. I wonder, is it a relationship, friendship, a group of some description? It's kind of like a group of some description maybe you were involved with. And when you've left the group, there's people that have left and you're kind of left alone. And I can hear service to mankind is the way to go as an individual, right? And help people overall on this planet. Okay, to bring you back into Ascension timeline with the planet there, and she's holding that there, looking at shifting your perspective, getting out of that funk of that trauma from the past, the time being stuck in that particular time bubble, and releasing that, so then you can forge your future for yourself and work on new skill sets. And what sort of skill sets are they? Like, it feels like a few different things at once. It feels like I want to do like a course that involves maybe 3 or 4 different things. And I wonder about that. Wonder what that could be. What is the course? Yeah, it's like, oh, I wonder about this kind of IT thing. Are you an IT person at all? Because I want to work on Word, Excel, Photoshop, that sort of thing. Alchemy. So she's an alchemist. So turning dark to light. And the skill sets, like you could be like what you're going to do, Rob, like consulting and helping people start their podcasts, right? So it's like a techie thing, that skill set that she can develop so she can do her own thing and create and forge her own community, similar to what you're doing. Yeah. And that'll shift the past and the bad experiences that you've had in a community that wasn't so great. That was all about kind of disempowering people and suppressing them. Flix Love, does that make sense?
She's not answering.
Yeah, I want to develop like these skill sets. And it's almost like I want to say, we have like a sound and design, like, what do you call it? College here. It's similar to that, where you get to do like computer animation, and then you get to do like sound, audio engineering kind of thing. It's like that, very techy and very involved like that. I don't think I can do that, she says, but I feel like she's got some character traits and the ability to focus, that she can do that. So she needs to focus on something else to get her out of that, being stuck in that particular past experience. And she can use it and alchemize it, right? So that's what we do. We turn lead into gold. We turn that darkness into gold. Whether you write about it, whether you do some sort of creative expression in regards to that experience. Yeah. I hope Flicks Love, tell me a bit about that. I feel like I want a bit more information. No, they don't want to say anything. They just, say the reading and they leave me alone. I don't know. I like sort of dialoguing with people back and forth, because you can get a bit more.
She says, yes, alchemy, all sorts of creative stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, all sorts of creative stuff that's more like going into techie land, like computer animation, sound animation, Photoshop, Illustrator. And I wonder if she can put that on YouTube and that sort of thing. Yeah.
She has a great YouTube too. It's Felicia Universal. She does it in Dutch or something, like, cause she's from Europe, so she does songs like in Dutch, and then she does them in English too. She's a beautiful musician. She's got a great voice. She's a
brilliant, right? So that's good. I'm glad you told me that, because it feels like it's the YouTube, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's the 4 key areas, right? So she's a creative singer. So that's the sound engineering kind of thing. But she can express it through YouTube. She can do animation. It's like you're your one-stop shop, right? It's like we can't get other people to come on board and help us out. Sometimes you can if you've got a lot of money, but learning it yourself, like, because she's a key player, she can do this herself, right? So that's what she's doing. Yeah. And so worldwide, she's worldwide. There she is, holding the ball worldwide. It's about thinking outside of that past stuff, right? And looking at the bigger picture. Yeah. Okay. I think that's about it.
All right. Oh, that was great. I can't remember who else wanted a reading. Let me see here. If anybody, it's not letting me get on the call. Oh, there we go. Let me see. Does anybody else like a reading? I'm assuming. Willard, right? Willard would like a reading. Now, Willard has an interesting background. He's a Vanderbilt, and he'll go into it. He'll tell you all about his family lineage. But the Vanderbilts are one of the 13, 14 family, or how many their families are that control us in this world. So he's for real too.
He's a truth teller. He's a truth teller is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
He's a truth teller, like a whistleblower. So he's been brought into the lineage to shine light on the intergenerational power and control. I don't even need the cards, you know what I mean? So he's on the right path. He still talks to, he's not completely cut off from his families. He talks to an uncle and he talks to other people, right? Yeah. And I feel like that connecting into, there's a family member that he does connect into, and that someone may be going into a transitional phase soon, like going into a family member probably waiting to go into their afterlife. It's not something that you don't know about, because I can see a lady like going into the light. It's just being aware of that. And I've got the uncle, or I feel like it's a male and it's an uncle, someone that you know, my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up, the Two of Flames, as an awareness of that, and maybe reaching out to that, because I feel like it has been quite isolating. Again, we've got the Chariot, so there's definitely a move, but it's not so much a move. Let me just double check if this is a move, a physical move for you. No, there's someone's transitioning soon. The Chariot is there. Right, but the role that you play is forging that connection and reaching out to them. I don't know. Do you know about this person? Are they going to? No. Maybe it's something that happens along the path. Yeah. There's a need to bridge the gap and reach out and connect to someone who may be not long on this earth for very much longer. And sometimes when we do that, we can heal the rift or heal before someone passes, because they can get a change of perspective. I don't know if this makes any sense, Willard, but that's what's coming up. And I can see it all in the cards. But it's a forgiveness and in healing the rift before someone transitions. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm saying
Well,
yeah 3 times,
people
it's
said it
correct.
was some places it was 108 degrees in some of these places today. Like it was definitely a 95 to 100 here too in Pittsburgh. It was hot.
Oh,
We're going through another heat wave. You know, Mahala says it was 108 there. Like 108. You can't even go out in that. That's why I had to go out tonight and walk. You can't walk in that weather.
crazy.
It's like, you know, that's
No,
like hardcore stress on the body, you know?
that's dangerous. It's like 40 degrees Celsius here, I think, about
Yeah.
108. Because I know 95 was like a nice, pleasant 30, isn't it? About, you don't know there's different measurements,
I
you know,
don't. I don't know.
Fahrenheit,
I don't know the. Yeah,
Celsius.
I've never. I've
Yeah,
never. The only other country I've been in is Canada, and I was basically in like an American part of Canada. You know, like,
yeah.
yeah, you know, like, yeah. I was up in Casino Niagara Falls. But I mean, I plan to travel. I'd like to come to Australia and get on some of those waves. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
I'd love to surf Australia before I die. You know, but I mean, yeah, but okay, this next one is from Spider Bite, and she says, yes, please, she'd like a reading.
Okay. Hey, you spider bite. It's funny because there's a few different shows that, you know, Julia's show, my show, and other people, and that people jump on, and your show, of course, the Spider Bite. Always see them in similar shows. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. You're on the journey to truth is what I'm hearing too. Yeah. Because everyone's on the journey to truth, right? The seeker. Feel some emotional things from the past, like a need to heal that and move forward. I can see the 8 of orbs, and there's a water, and there's a blindness in front of someone. So there's areas or aspects of self that need to be brought into the light. See how she's got a blinder on and she's looking at the water. For me, it's about deep emotions that need to be healed, right? They're looking up, 4 of chalices, like I can see that how she's looking up to the stars, and you know, it's like, get me out of here. Don't we all? Please, please, star, help me out, right? But we're looking up and up and up, but we're not looking within ourselves. And the idea is to start looking within yourself to heal those parts that were all in the water. And we've got this upside down. So focus, intent. And I love fire, because fire is an element of transmutation, transformation, really. So bringing fire into those parts to dissolve and disintegrate. So doing that with a healer, either myself as a healer or other people, because there's some tumultuous waters from the past. Once we clear that, we can rise in frequency and rise to the occasion. Because whilst we've got these parts of self, I feel like there's a anxiety, grief, and anger from the past, and it's keeping you kind of stuck and trapped. Because I'm focusing on the lady here who's got kind of like these tentacles around her, keeping her in this spot, right? But the key is not out to the stars. And all the galactics will say this: the journey upwards and out is within yourself. Getting to know thyself, the parts of self that we find uncomfortable, bringing it into the light, transforming them and looking at them in a different way. And if you've got this sort of level of healing to go through, I feel like you can tap into your own healing potentialities as well to help other people. But this is the start of that journey of healing. But you've got to start it, right? You've got to put one foot forward. Yeah. To start that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Like, so is it winter now there in Australia? It's reversed, right? So it's winter.
Yeah, it's winter. Yeah, it's cold here. Like, it's not cold where I am, because I'm in northern, sort of the bottom of Queensland, so the northern part of Australia. So it's more like a Florida kind of vibe here. But if I was in Melbourne, it would be freezing, right? I want a little bit more about spider bite too, right? 7 of crystals. I feel like there's a potentiality to do crystal healing, actually. So it really went into, like, you really got to start the journey to do this healing or get healing yourself. So maybe work with the crystal, maybe a crystal healer, someone who does Reiki but then works with crystals, or maybe they can do a swap. See, if you start doing a course, then they can help you, and actually doing a part of the course, like your own personal healing. Because the 7 of crystals is, you see the person there and they've got the tower behind them. So they become their own independent healer once they go through the journey of that. I see the 7 crystals. It's a bit of a theme here with the numbers. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yeah. So there was the orbs and the 7, 8 of yeah. Okay. Yeah. 7, 8, 9. Yeah. All right. Does that make sense, Spider Baits?
I love that. That was amazing. So you live in like a Florida type of part of Australia. Like, is that so? What's the temperature there right now? Like degrees wise, like, would you say?
I'd have to look it up, but it feels like about 18 or 19 degrees at the moment. It's not cold, which is like I don't know, is that 65 Fahrenheit?
No, yours would be. Wait. We say degrees here. We say wait.
You say Fahrenheit.
It's Celsius to Fahrenheit. Yeah. So 19. I'll look it up real quick because I'm curious.
Yeah,
I love
look it
the
up.
way that.
I don't want to touch any buttons just in case it logs me out. Like, I touched my phone the other day and it logged me off the live. So
But yeah, so it's 66 degrees there right now. That's not bad. Yeah. But like, I also want to look up something else that see if that was right. Do Australian horses race the other way?
I mean, if you can get a horse from Spain in here, people get horses here from Australia and bring them to the US. It just depends on the breeder and what it is that you want, you know, a
Listen,
stallion.
it says it depends on the state. In New South Wales and Queensland, horses race clockwise to the right. In Victoria, South Australia, and Western Australia, they race anti-clockwise to the left. This split comes from the 1800s. Early Australian racing clubs copied different rules from Great Britain. In Britain, tracks are built for both directions depending on the land and the club. Most horse races in the United States run anti-clockwise, meaning U.S. horses visiting Australia might have to learn to run in a different direction. That's interesting, right? That is so cool.
It's funny too, from state to state, the difference as well. Like, why in my state do they run clockwise? And I don't know. It's weird.
You guys are like still under the rule of the crown. I think we're all still under the rule of the crown, you know, unfortunately. But I mean, you know, like, I mean, even though America says it isn't, I think, you know, I don't know what's going on. I could, you know, I mean, you know, I know things need to change.
Well, they still get money. All the taxes still goes to the crown there. So you got to wonder, did they really win the war? Do you know what I mean? Like American independence, if you're still handing money to the crown, to Britain. I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but I remember reading it years ago and I was like, well, does that mean they're still tied to England?
Well, what I understand is like, how does this little island, it's like Britain's not that big. How does it control the whole world? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they've had conquest over to like Rome and Egypt and the Middle East and India. And like, you know, there's British colonies in India. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like that was like, I remember watching Slumdog Millionaire back in the day. And there was like, it had like I saw the British influence in India and I was like, holy shit, man, they got around the Brits, you know?
Well, they did. They had Mahatma Gandhi, who like kicked the British out. That's the story, through like passivity. So not actually like they had all these people like laying on tracks to stop the trains, because also that again the Dutch East Indian Company and all the money and going to England and enslavement, like they tried to do with other places on the planet. You know, I don't know, man. Like, is she really a lizard? So all
I would
sorts of
say so,
questions.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I think so too. She has gone to the other side. Queen Lizzie, that's what she was called.
Who's the queen now? Is there a queen now, or who's the queen?
King Charles is the guy.
Oh, that's and he's a vampire. You know what I mean? She was a lizard, and he's a vampire.
I know, like, why are they still following the royal family? Like, I don't understand it. It seems so archaic. I think we need to shift it and change it.
Harry and that dime piece they was with, they bolted, right? They left the royal family. That girl was hot. Meghan, what was that her name? Yeah, like
Meghan Markle, but she gets such bad press. Like, and I don't believe anything the media says, right? And people are like, oh, they really hate her like so much. And I go, well, maybe she's a truth teller, you know? So I don't know. People like are so brainwashed about it all, and we don't get the truth. We don't know anything about it. Like, I had a download about Princess Kate a while back, like an Oracle download in December 2023 that they'd actually I don't know if I can say it, but knocked her off, you know. See you later. Yeah. I got that really strongly and wrote a whole Oracle about it. Yeah. So they're doing things behind the scenes. We're only showed like you know, like the whole Beatles thing where Paul McCartney was apparently knocked off and then they put a replacement Paul. It's a little bit like that. We just played like they'll give you like whether they're like clones or not, like replacement people that they put in front to play the part, because it's all a show. It's like the wizard behind the curtain. We're definitely not told what the truth is. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I reckon they knocked her off. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a replacement. Yeah, but I just don't understand. Yeah, because you constantly see, like, they're constantly telling you in the media, oh, look what Princess Kate wore today. Doesn't she look lovely? And like, it's like, who cares? Why are these people important? I don't care. I've got to pay my rent.
What do you think Princess Di knew even back in the 90s? Like,
well, they say like that she talked to a psychic medium and disclosed to her that she'd seen Queen Elizabeth in her real form, and she was a reptilian Draco.
wow.
I
Holy
believe it.
shit.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't think we're given a certain show. It's like a show that we're watching, but the real things that are actually going on behind the scenes are different. Like David Icke believes that, and yeah. Sorry, I mean your audience is pretty aware of stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah. I
Um,
just it's like, well, hell, when is this all gonna like come down? I think more realizations about SRA and the Epstein list and how it's all just one big death cult ritualistic, you know, thing. Like we shouldn't be following any of these people. They're completely devoid of soul
yeah.
and spiritually corrupt completely. Low vibration. They shouldn't be in leadership positions. And you know, yeah.
Yeah. They definitely shouldn't, right? It's it's a messed up world we live in. It really is. Like,
And it's falling down. It's all disintegrating, really. That's the tower. The more that we shine light on it.
Oh shit, my computer is starting to play. Guys, I'm about to on Rumble, I'm about to do a Rumble raid, but you don't have to leave the stream. I just have to do 5 of them a month. Like I have to, so you can don't leave it. You don't have to. You know what I mean? It's just I have to do 5 of those a month. So I'm just doing one now. So you can just always opt out and it won't take you to the next stream. Yeah, but I mean like yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
I
Well,
wish I
anyway.
was streaming I wish I was streaming this to my audience, but currently it won't let me. So I think it's because I'm on a different computer. Damn. Oh well. It's all right. So we did a reading for you. Are we doing any more readings or is that it? I can tune into the energies of what's going on at the moment. Maybe we do that because you're asking about like the royal family and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna bring in my guides, angels, and ancestors, like because we've focused our energy on that. So humanity is shifting from giving their power away to celebrities and people of royalty and of apparently a higher order to empower themselves. At the moment, they are disempowered because they are programmed to give their power away to celebrities and people in positions of power. But we are understanding that most of these people are put into place for an agenda, and there is high corruption all around. How do people take their power back? I feel protesting is one thing, but everyone knows. It's like everyone knows. It's like the biggest held secret, but it's really out in the open. We must take our power back through activism and writing and speaking aloud, not being afraid to speak about it, because that's a part of the suppression is censorship, and sharing amongst your friends and folk. You know, yeah, that's what I can hear. Sharing, communicating, building community, not allowing like other people to come in and create communities for us. Like, this is where you live. This is what you do. It's like taking your power back. Humanity's taking their power back, you know? It's just a part of the process of the tower falling, the old disintegrating, the 3D disintegrating it, and us bringing in that new world. But we have to, it has to burn down first, basically, you know, sorry, for new growth to come in. It's like, the tower is falling. Yeah. Are you there? Are you frozen? Are you frozen? Yeah. I'm getting the 2 of chalices as I say that. Isn't this a sweet card? And then good times ahead, right? Well, we have to observe and see the disintegration of the old before we bring in the new. Golden era. 2 of chalices. Everyone looks lovely. The balance of the masculine and the feminine, right? We can see that, you know, we've got an issue with, you know, imbalance of masculine and feminine on this planet. And I'm talking feminine aspects, talking about your emotions, being free to, heal, and alternative therapies and stuff like that, that I'm into. And instead we've got this like suppression going on, the patriarchy, blah, 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 right? We need this in balance again, right? Balance, because we're bringing balance back, right? Don't worry, you disappeared for a bit. I took over. It's all right. No, I think that's
Well, you
about
have to
it.
say, like, I love your new hair. It looks so it's so pinup girl, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, thank you. I love that you said that, because I love that style of like the 50s style. So I wanted to have the little fringe and kind of be a bit retro. Thank you.
I used to have a calendar of pinup girls on my wall. So like, trust me, like I love that style too. It's cool for real, like it's really dope.
You
I
like
like it.
that? You
Yeah.
like that sort of thing? Thanks, Rob. I feel all shy now, gone a bit red in the face. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Okay. The next one is California Girl USA, and she said she left the Rumble rant, but Rumble didn't even show it, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because I joined the stream late on Rumble or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know what's going on. But yeah, thank you anyway, California Girl, and she's a nice person. Her and her mom watch from California all the time, and she says, "Tell me how much her mom likes my show and how much she likes my show," and they're just like really good people, like. So shout out to her and her mom out there in California. And,
I feel like I want to sing that California Girls. I don't even know if that's the song, but it's
that's a great song by David Lee Roth. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I wish they all could be Well, it was originally a Beach Boys song, but then it was
California. Yeah, so she's on a surfboard, and that's what I feel like. I see the ocean. It's actually really lovely. California Girl. What does she want to reading about? The Master of Orbs. Getting a skill set, or you already have a skill set, feels like. Does she have a skill set already? No. Needing to have, be not a jack of all trades, but a master of something. Because I've got Master of Orbs. And I'm getting like, I'm focusing on the, sorry, something just fell off something. Oh, still going. Master of Orbs. It's like I'm focusing on the sword there. Yes, it's about not so much a skill set as in like an everyday life skill set. It's like an emotional skill set of boundary setting, because I'm focusing on the sword. It's like being able to say, nah, enough. I've had enough, because there's an emotional drain, or has been an emotional drain with the 10 of chalices. Like you're leaking energy, or have done. You're a beautiful person. But there is a bit of like, when you're really lovely, and I understand it, a little bit people pleasy, right? Needing to put the boundaries down and cut certain people away that are, I don't know, kind of leeches, or taking from you in certain ways. Yeah? Does that make sense? California Girl. How does she needs, yeah. It's a really positive card. Once you do that, you've got all the energy for yourself once again, right? You can say no. It's the ability of cutting things off. Whoever these people are feels emotional. And it's just in everyday interactions as well. She's such a beautiful person, very, but can be obliging to the wrong people, right? So you need to take your energy back. So we've got solar deity, and it's a year of the fire horse, right? So take your power back year for you. It's a California Girl. Take your power back. That's what it feels. It feels really strongly, like I want to say it again. Take your power back. Enough of this. You have the power just to cut that crap out, right? It's called boundary setting. Whoever this person is, it feels like a few kind of people are a bit leechy. They love her. She's got a lovely feeling about her. Nice girl. Lovely. You know what I mean? I feel like doing martial arts and that sort of thing gives you some good boundary setting. Like even if you're physically kind of being able to knock people out or punch them. You know what I mean? It's like, no, enough. I've had enough. Like that sort of thing. That's what I feel like for California Girl. All right? We need that. We need California Girl. Come on. Enough. No. Do you know what I'm saying? Rob, do you get my point?
Yeah. I got you. The next one I'm getting my Rumble people now because they're Rumble was there for me when YouTube wasn't. So no, but Kay, I guess we didn't get Kay, so Kay wanted a reading, and then I guess and then there's one more after this. There's Iron Bear I saw on YouTube, and then we'll finish up with that, I guess. Yeah, that's good because we've been going a while. I didn't want to.
Yeah. Kay. I thought we read for her. Maybe we didn't. Oh, interesting.
She told me we didn't. Hey, Kitsalao, good to see you.
All right. Indigo. She's an indigo starseed. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for her. You know, like when you come into this planet and you've been on other planets where you've been like, you know, another species, like an alien, right? Coming in and talking to human beings and all their weird ways is really confusing to a lot of people. You've got a beautiful energy, indigo, like look at the energy, purple. It's got a lot of like spiritual energy that is a comfort to a lot of people and can be a comfort to a lot of people. I feel that beautiful energy from her, which is very much needed in this day and age and time. You've got a real lovely persona and character about you. And it's funny that we talked about the other lady needing more boundaries because just I feel like there's a possible, maybe it's your job that you do. It's like social worky or helping other people, or maybe you just do it for free for people. You know what I mean? Like you're community orientated and you give that energy to people. It's a really nice energy, but so you're getting a little bit of drain on that. So it's 8 of chalices, right? All right. When we're lovely and we're, you know, you've got a really good personality, I feel like burnout may be a thing that is something to be aware of. It's when you got compassion fatigue, right? You're giving and you're giving and you're giving, and that's what happens is that you don't have anything else to give because the tank is empty. It's like time out. Some sort of, you need to shift it by either going on a holiday. I feel like it is around work. It's a possible work situation or just a part of your personality. I like the feeling that you have. You're a safe person to talk to. But understand that nobody else is going to really look after you except yourself, right? So if you want to turn it like that, if there's needing to be a bit more selfish about your energy and who you give it to, similar to the other lady before, right? So it's a bit draining. You're getting drained right now. Draining. You see how the cups are all sort of upside down in the desert? So where's the water? Where's the nurturing? Where's the giving to self and filling your own cup up? Needing to fill your own cup up. Okay, starseed. Again, you've got a beautiful energy that a lot of people would love to be in your energy field, right? It's very confusing being human, isn't it? That's all I want to say to Kay. Gosh, it's like, why am I here? What am I doing here? You've got a beautiful heart. You're there to share your heart with other people, right? Just boundaries around it. So you're not going to become just a source of someone who's just going to kind of leech at it, right? Yeah. Boundaries in the job. I wonder what her job is. Is it like a giving job, a social work or counselor, community, something like that? Yeah. She doesn't say. Anyway, you got to be careful of burnout. Time for self now. Go on a holiday if you can. If you don't have time, just stay in your house for like 2 weeks or whatever it is. You've got leave. Feel like you do. Just K. That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. Okay, let me see here. Okay, we had one more. And
Yeah, it's like also mental fatigue. Like when you're in a job, even if you're not like working in like community or social work, but you're people talk to you, they get advice from you, and it's like mental fatigue. Enough now. Yeah. All right, who's next?
Iron Bear. Iron Bear wanted a reading.
I remember I gave Iron Bear a reading at some stage. I don't know if it was on my channel or maybe it was the last. Oh, we did it on Missy Hill's show. And yeah, and he said he did 3D printing, right? This is what I remember from Iron Bear, because I remember it now. And I was thinking about it afterwards, right? Because we saw like an axle and someone who, you know, like forged swords and things like that. And I was like, wow, he's got a skill set there but it's from a past life. That's what it was from. And I didn't get to say that on the last show, that it was a past life skill set that was coming in. And it was about sigils. That's right. So he has these sigils that he does or wants to do in regards to the 3D printing. So he's got a flair for design and past life experience forging metal and swords. And I wonder about the medieval thing. Yeah, and I'm getting positive about it, right? You've got this skill set and design that's coming in, and it's going to bring fortune, because Ace of Flames, it's like keep on doing that. There's more that comes out of that. You've got lots of ideas. Yeah, so but it reminds me of working with fire, you know, that we had the same thing there. Forging with fire. Ah, okay. So yes, you've got the 3D printer thing, but think, and I can hear it again. Exactly what I heard before, clairaudiently. It's like someone's on an axle and they're I forgot the name of it, and I keep on forgetting every time I do it. You know, someone who bangs away at knives and bends metal and I want to see that actually for you. I don't know whether you've thought about it or not. So someone who solders and like a boiler maker, right? And he has like a thing over the top of his head, and he has to, yeah. It's like working with fire and metal is actually something that he could actually get into, which might bring him abundance. For some reason, you've got the hanging man. It's like you're not doing it. But this is what spirit keeps on saying to you. It's like, work with your hands, become an artisan, you know.
You said blacksmith,
Metalwork.
forge? Sorry, I mean to...
Blacksmith. That's the word, blacksmith, right? Is he doing that now? Because it's coming up again. I had a reading for him, I think last week. Yeah, it's the same things happening again. I can see Akashic in the Akashic records. So waiting for something. Sage of Orbs. Why has he got the Sage of Orbs? He's a little bit stubborn. Sage of Orbs. I know what to do. There we've got the sword again. The lady holding the sword, but it's upside down. Taking the wisdom of advice, my friend. I'm giving you advice, but you're not listening to it. Why are you not listening to it? Hangman. I know it's a bit of a I don't know, stuckness. I want this to go this way. It's like being able to be open to other people's advice or the advice from spirit, because it feels like there's a pathway for you there. And like you're not really a part of the traditional path. Like you're listening to Rob's show, you've got like a different way of thinking, right? So if someone's got these ideas for you and they're like, oh, well, why don't you go and do this? Yeah, you can do that. But if it's not what you really want to do in your heart, because I feel like there's advice, people give you advice, you know what I mean? It's like, well, they don't know that you might have a unique set of skills and traits that, you know, go a different pathway, right? A unique pathway that maybe you become like an artisan or an artist that actually makes sculptures that are worth like $5,000, $10,000. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So someone might be pushing him to go, 3D printing, go this way, go do that, right? But he's got this like cleverness that's like in another way that can, like, blacksmithing. So tell me about this Iron Bear, right? About blacksmithing. Have you ever thought about it? It's come up again, right? Maybe you have to come and get 2 readings from me, so then you'll stop being so stubborn, right? This way, and turn it this way, right? Okay, that's about it. I'm going to tell him off. I'm like a school teacher today. That's what it
Wait,
feels like.
wait a minute. We just had an EVP come through. I swear to God on my life. Because okay, let me tell you what happened. Like, I didn't respond yet. You said something and I heard something go, or something like that. I swear to God. And it wasn't me. Like, I was just sitting here and I was like, what? I said, did something come through her speaker? I said, what was that? I think we just got an EVP. Can someone that's good with, maybe I was just hearing things. I could be just hearing things.
No, it actually happens. I get the paranormal happening, right? Because what I'm doing here is I'm talking to the guides. So his guide is come through and gone, So he's agreeing with me. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it has happened quite a few times on my show and on YouTube, especially when I do oracle readings. You'll hear a voice come in and mess with the microphone. You know, you've had the lights with me. So that's the phenomena that goes on, right, with this work. Right. So EVP means what does it mean exactly, EVP?
Electromagnetic voice phenomena.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't surprise me at all. It has happened on quite a few examples. I used to have I did psychic drawing, and I was drawing this guy's grandfather, and he spoke through the video to the family in the background in his accent and his voice, because he was from Sri Lanka. Yeah. So someone's agreeing in spirit, Iron Bear. So you've got twice now the reading, and now you've got EVPs, you know.
Wow, that's a sign, you know.
It's a sign, all right. Because someone's trying to get his attention, going, get into like boiler making, metalsmith, whatever that is, blacksmithing, right? And you can make money out of it, like make gates for, it might be like make gates for people at the front of houses and that sort of thing, but it can go on to like creating sculptures that are really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was amazing, Chloe. And if you want to, I'll message you after the show. You know, if you want me to help you with your podcast, I'll do that. You know, I'm going to message you after the show anyway. Yeah. But like, do you want to tell people how they can follow you? And guys, book a reading with Chloe. You know, like how did people book a reading with you and stuff?
Well, they can just get onto my Facebook page, chloeariell, with 2 L's, ARIELL. Chloe spelled CHLOE. And you can message me. I've got WhatsApp. I mean, I used to have a web page and everything like that, but there's no point really, because I'd get people just messaging me for a reading. And I do soul sessions. They go for 2 hours, and they're shamanic healings. So I do that via distance on Zoom. I'm going to start doing it in person here as well. Again, get my practice up and going. But yeah, I'm available for oracle readings, and get onto my show too on my YouTube, Whimsical Wednesdays with Chloe Ariell. Okay, and I do oracle readings there too. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, tomorrow night we have Misha Johnston, and then I have Karen Holton during the day, but I may have to shift that around because I have a doctor's appointment at 1 p.m. and I can't remember what time Karen said, so I got to look that up. But there will definitely be 2 shows tomorrow, if you know, like with guests, you know, and then and then one Friday, and then I gotta start working on the other days. But I'm you know, I'm a little burnout, so I'm just taking every day as it is, like, you know, like and then you know, that's about it. You know, it's just, you know, like, you know, sorry.
No one's going to judge you if you take a week off, Rob. You know what
Oh,
I
I don't
mean?
even think I could do that. I love this so
Right.
much. Like I love
Yeah.
podcasting. So it's crazy because like I'm severely burnt out, but at the same time, it's like when I'm sitting here and like I know I should be doing like work. Like I have like 7 audio episodes uploaded. I have to do like work with
Yeah.
Spreaker tonight. I'll be doing that all night. But like like I know like I could be spending days doing that and other stuff. But like I love doing these shows. You know what I mean? Like I went 3
It is
hours
fun.
tonight. You know? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I
so.
love it too. Like I love getting on there and like talking to my community because that's what it is. You're building a community and connections with people that, there's not a lot of places for a lot of people now as our communities and, churches and, other places that people gather is getting smaller and smaller. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and then honestly, like with some parts of the internet can be like very vile. Like you know what I mean? Like some
Yeah.
chats you can go into, and people are very like rude and vile, and like just like
Yeah.
like it's just like we don't want that crowd here. Like we have a
No.
good crowd, and I think we
Yeah.
see it like transfer to other shows because the same people, like you said, go to the other shows, and we're building
Yeah.
a network of people in a community, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I want.
Yeah.
So the right
Absolutely.
people find each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And we're all a little bit eclectic, a little bit different, but we're here to bring the new earth forward. But right now it's a very challenging time for a lot of people because of, censorship and everything like that. And just the general life is really difficult, So having
Yeah.
that community alleviates that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to keep covering the woo. I hate covering politics. I really do. I
Yeah.
really despise it. The more and more that I look
Yeah.
into it, I literally despise it. Like I don't give a fuck what happened to Lindsey Graham
No,
before he died. Supposedly he
I
died, and
don't care.
I don't even
Yeah.
care. I don't even
Yeah.
care. Like I'm like, you know what I mean? Like like I cared a little bit when the Iran war was in, and but then I realized I was like, this is all like a charade. It's all a big
It's a
like,
charade. We need
yeah,
to rise above the politics because
yeah,
politics is there to divide people with red or blue or different colors. Like you're literally playing, you're observing a game. Don't
yeah.
become the game. You get pulled into that discord and drama, and nobody wins because then you're divided. Like you belong to this team, I belong to that team. You're doing what the higher ups want you to do, is that to play off against each other and be divided instead of
Yeah, and
actually
it breeds hate. It actually breeds hate,
it does. Chaos, division, it's the order of satanic ritual. MK Ultra mind control, like literally. So
Yeah,
just you rise above it, observe it, but don't participate in it. Like I don't have anything to do with politics. I can't like how can you, knowing what we know? You know?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, thanks, Chloe. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, and thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And have a good night, everyone. Thanks, Chloe.
See you later.